everyone. Thanks for joining in. If you're watching this on Twitch, we will be learning and extending our knowledge about projectile creation for visual effects in games in Unity today. And if you're watching on YouTube, this is the stream. And I have made some cuts, so we might not be able to see the whole thing, which is good because I take a lot of breaks. Well, this is it. Thanks for joining, and we will start quite quickly. Maybe you watched the other episodes. If you haven't yet, check them out in the playlist or on my channel. There's 4 episodes before this one. We started with the very basics with episode 1, then we went eventually and created this cool effect, and we finished it up actually yesterday. I'm gonna show it to you because I'm quite proud of it. I need to get rid of this cylinder thingy just so it's not in the way. We'll go here and we'll show it to you, hide the gizmo and restart. I need to play that again because we missed it, and I need to keep talking because otherwise the video will be cut. So this is the effect. It's a laser effect that we've done over the course of the last 2 episodes. We finished it up with creating that final touches here. We added, if I may just play it very slowly. So you have this anticipation animation. Then you have the laser coming in for 1 second, and then we have the boom, and then we have the rest of the effects that creates this amazing. I'm called amazing. It's mine. So we created together. Yeah. So we created this nice effect here. It's a laser beam. We did all the textures ourselves, and it looks amazing. I'm just gonna take a screenshot out of that because I haven't yet, and maybe I'll even send it with the message that I want to send to acquire new opportunities for us to study. Let's see if that would work. Just gonna go back here, gonna paste. Okay, wait. We're gonna just open Photoshop quickly. We need it anyway during the course. I'll open it and just work on another screenshot maybe that is here. For this one, they look so cool together. Cool. We're just gonna take a screenshot out of this one. Created that nice shader with it, and we'll screenshot going, and we will paste both of them. This one inside the Photoshop document. Oh no, it doesn't work. Okay. One by one. Okay, wait. We will take another screenshot. Yes, that's good. Take another one. I want the sparks to be out. Yeah, this looks good. And now we will check that out. Make that bigger a bit. Does this fit? Does this fit together? But they are very similar, the effects, and I really am proud of that. What can we do though? Okay, we will take that and put it here. Now we will take a look at that. It really looks good. It actually might make it to the portfolio. I really like what we have in here. They are proud of it. We did a good job, you guys. Amazing. Yeah, let's take a picture of that. Hey, Media Encoder is finally working. Let's attach this, and let's attach this to the message. Hopefully we acquire something. I'm trying to expand my learning and hopefully get you guys also over to learn more stuff with me. But of course, those course coordinators need to agree to it. Otherwise, I can't just show their stuff. I would like to inform you, I'm just reading the text I started last week. I like to call it Let's Learn. The idea is to stream. La la la, blah blah blah. Here we go. I'll let you know. Okay. So here are the screenshots of the last of the things we created together with the people in the chat. Hope you like it. Maybe we can add something like basically I also want to communicate what I I wanted to ask exactly if this would be interesting, if the concept interesting for you. Gonna not mention what website is this. Let's Google it if it's correct, because I suck at spelling. Yeah, let's see if you would like a call to discuss some. Yeah, let's see my spelling. Okay, we're almost done here, and then we'll put our name. We're just gonna link the Twitch channel. So far, we have 3 people that really like the idea. 3 3 good resources for learning that really like the idea, and they gave me their support. Let's see. Just adding some stuff. Double. Gonna check thing out. So we are finishing it up. Okay, we sent that now. And let's keep them crossed. Hopefully we get an opportunity, y'all, so we can learn some stuff together and even go deeper into learning. We might hear back in a couple of days. The email I sent yesterday, I got a reply from, and it was quite positive. They really like the idea and they would like to work. But there's no, of course, like I can't get it for free or anything. I can't get their course for free, so I will have to pay it on my own. So I asked if there's like some type of discount or something. I forgot to add one more thing in my message, which is an important one. Let me just get that here. Let's see. I think an affiliate program be interesting. Boost sales. Could maybe be a good fit. Let's see. Yeah, it's hard to do business, especially when your channel is very small. But I'm a huge believer that if I keep working on it, I keep acquiring. So I'm the only believer of this. If I can bring more people to believe in it with me, and I have a good concept that I can share with people, then I'm a huge believer that we could do something together. And we can make this grow bigger if we want to. Well, the main thing for me actually is learning. So if I can get to learn some stuff, some new things, and that is by acquiring courses maybe that might be interested in maybe giving me their course content to maybe have a affiliate link where I could boost their sales without showing too much of the content, with focusing on my own learning experience and the chat. Maybe there is something. And if you're watching this and you own such a company where you offer courses and you might be interested in working with me, just drop me a message wherever you can find me. Check the Generalist. I don't have my email because I get a lot of spams and a lot of scam emails and I don't like it. So yeah, find me. Not that hard. Google my name. You'll be able to find me quite easy. And yeah, just drop me a message if you would be interested in working with me in that way. Okay, so let's continue. We will continue touching on the shader which we opened here. And it's a very quiet shader. I'm just quite easy shader to do. Well, it is easy to do, but to understand it is quite difficult. So we might revisit it actually today just to have a revision done. Video still rendering. So we had a time component which gives us the time, right? We multiplied it with something we called noise speed. That noise speed determines how fast the scrolling is. And that would be like if we made it in the x-axis, if we made it to 5, it will go quite fast. If We made it to 2 a bit faster, and 1 is the value we had. I like it to be a bit faster, honestly, because it will show more stuff. So this parameter that we applied here, we added here, called noise speed, controls the scrolling. And how it does that by initiating the time. So the time here, if it was multiplied by 0, it will stay. There is no time, because if you multiply everything with 0, the value will come out 0. And then we take the value that comes out of here, which is a constant value that goes 1 frame per second, or depending on the value that we put, for now it's 1.5. That will move in that speed. And we will add it to... here. We will add it to this thing, which adds the UV coordinate to the time. And because we have 2 values or 2 vectors, we have the x and the y. The y is currently on 0, but if it was on 1, it will go diagonally as well. We don't want that though. So we just want it to go one way, scroll one way, make it easy for us. Okay. The cool thing is that we can make variants out of this material. We will make a variant, I think, for the fire itself. So it wiggles or shows some heat. It distorts it, and here where we will use that value, but we will use it in a material instance. We will create an instance out of that shader that we will be able to manipulate on our own pace. Let me eat something. Oh, I forgot my water. Okay, anyway, actually forgot one more thing in the message. I was careful to include everything, but it's hard to do streaming and everything together. So I'll just do that real quick. Videos. We will copy it. Oh wow, I'm getting nice views on my videos. That's cool. Just over here. One thing I forgot to mention without review. So here down. Good. So we've done that. And now we'll continue. So when we have made that thing go right, we have added it. We took the out input and we put it into gradient noise, and we see it right now going to the right. And if we do a 1, it will go upwards as well on the Y. And now we see when we hook the value here of that gradient together with the UV in a lerp together with a value that we created, a vector, a float value, we call the distortion amount. This is us naming those things. They're basically just numbers, and we can determine what those numbers are when we click on this parameter. Let's call it a parameter, and we can manipulate the default value here. So when this goes up, what a lerp does, we looked it together yesterday. From 0, it will only show the value of B, which in this case will be the gradient noise. So if we take that to 0, we will see no effect whatsoever. We will just see a constant scrolling. But if we have a value of 1, it will take the value of the UV only. Wait, let me try to make sense out of that. So basically I'm trying to revisit this in my own brain and check what it could mean. I'm just gonna go with a value tested on my own, and the minus also distorts it. Okay, well, let's try to understand this a bit better. 0.1. Where was it? Was it 0.1 or was it 0.015? Let's just control Z, the thing. Okay, it was... Okay, we will keep going. Control Z. Yeah, that was the value we had. Now it's a 0. 1 back. Minus 0.1. Okay. I'm just gonna try to understand the lerp thing. We're just gonna add 2 colors. One will be red and the other will be green. And now we'll add them to a lerp with... So the red will be in the A, the green will be in the B, and the value of the lerp will be a vector or a float even. Just a float, just 0. And now we will see how would that work out. And we will go towards the 1. So 0 is the red and 1 will be the B. 0 is the A and 1 will be the B. And the -1 doesn't mean much, but I guess in that case here it will mean a lot. So the default amount here is controlling, if it was 0, it's A, right? 0 and beneath it's A, and 1 and up. And upwards to A, upwards to 1 is B. That's what I got so far. Because it turns green if we go upwards. Okay, so here we have a value of -1 because we wanted to go to the left. Or what was the intention of making it a -1? Also distortion. But the distortion, when it goes upwards, it goes outwards from the effect. It makes it, but the minus kind of like takes away from it. Yeah, it's a whole different value. And that is because I'm trying to just understand what is happening in here, and it's a bit difficult to grasp. So if it's 0, it will go to the B value, which is just the scrolling of the gradient here with its time. But if it was a 1, if it was a 1, it will go to the B. If it was a 0, it will go to the A, right? 0 is A, yeah. And 1 is B. Makes sense. Okay. So 0 is A, so it will go to this value of this gradient that is stable, basically. That is why when we have it 0, it doesn't do anything, correct? Yes, it stays like it is, because now it's only outputting that value of the UV. That is all what it's doing. And the reason it's moving to begin with is because we took the time value and we put it in the main speed here, and we basically multiplied it together, added it now with the UV, and that is why it's moving. Okay, I get that. So let me try to explain that to myself. This here, the time multiplied by a value, added to the whatever comes out of this, which in that moment is the UV, is moving the texture to the right of the value we have here, which is 1. If we have it 1.5, it should go faster. Yeah, good. And now what we have, if we enable some of the lerp here to have the values from the B, which would be either, would go in the -0.1 or in the 1, and we see it going faster because this speed of the texture is on 1.5. If it's on 1, it will go with the same speed. But it's on 1.5. No, it's on 11.5. 1.5. So we have a variety of speed between the texture scrolling and the thing here, which is moving the whatever comes out of the lerp. Okay. And now if we put a value of 0.1, we would see the distortion going faster than the scroll, which would make sense because we have a scroll speed of 1, while the speed of the scroll from the noise texture is on 1.5. And so here we will have, if we have a -0.1, here's where the when we put the minus, I'm completely confused. But I guess it's taking the whites, making them black, and taking the blacks, making them white. So it's inverting the value by changing the distortion amount. If I'm wrong, correct me here. I also see some weird artifacts with the speed. Let's keep it like that, and let's see if I make that value of 1.5 up to 2, would it go faster? Yeah. All right, so now we get it. We have two components, very important components. One that takes the time and multiplies it to determine the speed of the scrolling, and that's a float. That's a vector too, and it multiplies it into the x-axis, and this is scrolling whatever the hell comes out of the lerp. Whatever comes out of the lerp is determined by this value that we call distortion amount. And that distortion amount is it's very simple to this here. First, it starts with a very normal number that is multiplied by the time to determine the speed of the scrolling. It's also a vector too, so it decides if it's in the x or if it's in the y. Good. And now the value of the time moving in the x value is added to the UV, because otherwise it won't scroll. And now we take the UV, add it to the time in the x-axis, we add it to a gradient noise, and then we put it in a lerp, which determines how much distortion is happening when we add that scrolling speed to whatever comes out of the lerp. And in this case, we have a value of -1, which distorts it a bit differently than it would in the positive numbers. And we see it getting mixed in the add here. And this is the effect we see here. And now it goes to a simple texture 2D, which is determined by the parameter. Which texture are we using at the current moment? And then whatever comes out of those UV that we distorted and we scrolled now is added to a multiply with a color. This is how we can determine the color of that texture. And now we multiply that again with a vertex color, because if we have chosen the color from a different parameter in the particle system, such as the color in the parameter system or in the particle system, for example here, that changes the vertex color of the object. It does not change the color from here. That is something we can decide, and it will only mix that color, multiplies it with the vertex color. It's just a way for us to tell Unity, hey, if we change the color from the particle system, please add it to the color that we have chosen for that material. And this way we have more flexibility to either choose the color from there or from here. The reason we have a color here is because we wanted it to be an HDR color, so we can have emission to the material. Okay, and now we take those values that we have multiplied together with the vertex color and we stick it to the base color. And then we take it out again, we split it. So what we're doing is we're splitting those 4 vectors that we see here in 4. That is why it's pink. When it's pink, it's 4 values. And those values are red, green, blue, alpha. And when we split them, we're able to take the values of the alpha, stick it up to the alpha input here in the main shader, so we can have transparency, as we can see here. Yeah, so that is what it's doing. Again, one more revision for me to understand, and maybe for you. We have a time input. The first thing, if you want to move things, is that you add a time input. And if you want for that time to move, you need to multiply it by a vector or a float. Ideally, you would have a vector 2, because you would be scrolling in a UV space. UV space is a 2D space, and it needs 2 axes, an X and a Y. That is why you would multiply it with an X and a Y. In our case, it's only moving in the X axis, because this is a trail texture that we have right now. If it is a different texture, we might need one in the Y as well. But now, for the sake of simplicity, we added just one axis. So that is the rule. You want to move time, you want to move it in the UV, you need a multiplication of vector 2. We have one here and we have one here. Why? Because this will move whatever comes out of the lerp, which will be a distortion. So this is the distortion shader part of it, and this is the scrolling part of it. That is why we have a multiply here and a multiply here. One that determines the speed of the scroll itself, and one that determines the speed of the distortion scroll itself. Okay, now we get that. Then we stick it up with an add node. Oh, we hook it up, not stick it up. We hook it up with an add node. So we have an add node here, which takes 1 plus 1 equals 2. And it doesn't matter. So we have a value of the UV coordinates added to the multiplication of the time in the x-axis only, could also go on the y-axis as well. And then we hook it up with a noise gradient, and this is why the noise is shifting in the x. If it was a plus value that we added in those vectors, it will go from right to left. If it was a minus value, if it go from left to right, and it will create a whole different effect. Let's keep it in the plus for now. Great. So far, we understand that this is a scrolling of the distortion texture. And this is a scrolling of whatever comes from the lerp. Because the lerp is hooked to the UV as in the A input. And it's hooked to the distortion texture, the gradient noise in the B. And this can be determined to which value it will favor by adding a float value. You could tell it, hey, favor input A, which is the UV, and in that you just add 0, because 0, A, and then 1 is B. So if you have value in between, it will favor it in the percentage. So if you have a 0.5, 50%, so they will both be valid, as we see here in the color. Here we added a very simple lerp function with colors just so we can visualize it. And it's a 0.5, it will be yellow because the mix between red and green is yellow. And if it was on 1, it will be green. And if it was on 0, it will be red. Okay, we get that so far. However, the colors here don't really show us anything if we have minus. I don't know why. I don't know so much into math and why that does work. I guess it's the limitation of the color. For now, this has nothing, no value. It has nothing to do with the shader. It's just us testing things. I'll keep it below here. Okay, so now we decide how much it should favor either A or B. And I have gone in the minus, and my theory is of what is happening, and you can correct me if I'm wrong. Anytime, you're welcome to correct me if I'm wrong, is that when we put a minus value here, it will distort it differently. And we see it right here, actually. If we go take the minus out, it's kind of distorting it outwards. And if we go with the minus, it's distorting it inwards. And my theory to why this is working like this is the values of the white and the black. So when we're putting it into the minus, we can see the color even changing here. In the 0, we see the whites, and in the in the positive, we see the white particles, and in the minus, we see more of a black distortion. Good. Now we have an effect that favors the B of a minus 0.1 is hooked to an add that takes the texture to scroll it in the x-axis in a bit of a different speed than this one here. And that is what is creating that effect of the scroll, because when we hook it in the UV node of that sample texture to D, which we can decide as a parameter outside of the shader, and then we multiply it with a color, and we need that color input because we need an HDR, and then we multiply it again because we could also manipulate the whole thing in a vertex color from the Unity particles, and then we have split that value while we also hooked it to the base color. But we've split it to take the alpha out into the alpha. Wow, that was a whole revision. Okay, so far, so good. We will continue from here. Let's see what is being described to us in the tutorial. And maybe I'll just get some water. I'll be right back with you guys. We're back. So let's keep going. I am really having a lot of fun trying to understand that system and trying to create it with you guys. Revision is very important, although it's boring. It's very important for, not for you, like if you don't want to do any revision, that's fine for me. But like it's important for me to understand things because it's super easy to forget things. And it's challenging to keep track with everything going on and everything we're learning. But even just having a slight revision about the things we've learned so far gives me confidence to be able to do it again. Good stuff, good beans, cool beans, whatever it's called. Let's go. We will jump now to the thing here and start learning. I'm not getting any sound. It's the wrong input. No.
Because everything is set to 0. For example, in amount, 0.amount of expression. Even 0.1 is a bit too much. And let's leave it at 0 for now. Now let's just add another vector 1 so we can control the noise tail. It's also going to be useful with the default value of 10. And let's connect it to the tail. We can save this tail now.
Interesting. What we have been able to do, what we could do is add a new parameter of a float value, and we'll call it noise scale. That's what he did now in the in the tutorial. It's good to always have flexibility, and we will just add it here. We had it into 6, sorry. And so it's always good to control it from the outside while you could still see the distortion happening. So let's go here. This effect is so amazing, you guys. We've done such a cool job here. It's really amazing. Definitely will make it to my portfolio, this thing. So cool. So proud of it. It didn't take me that long. And yeah, it's just, this is exactly what I want to do with my time, man. Exactly this thing here. It's awesome. Look at that thing, man. Look at that thing. So awesome, man. This feels so good. You have no idea. This feels so amazing. Oh man, I love this. Okay, so let's stop looking at it. Stop looking at it! You'll get better! Okay, let's see. We will check the values now. It's looking a bit different. I still don't like that it's going left to right, but I think that's something we can't really change because it has something to do with the direction of the part of the projectile. So we will take the sparks here, now the trail. We will put it back to 0 and then again up to 1000. And now we will play around. Here we go. Okay, let's look at it. Go to the material. And now we have more options to do stuff with. We have here the scale of 6. We can put it down to 2. And we see that it's not being distorted anymore. We can put it up to 10. Now we see the distortion for real. 8. Wow, a lot of thunder. It's crazy. We have the noise speed, which has an X and Y value. Makes a lot of sense. We have 10, 1.5. 1.5? Yeah, that's too fast, man. Maybe make it slower. A bit faster, maybe. Yeah, this is nice. I like this. Yeah, it's very cool. But I still would like it to go the other way around. So what if the main speed was -1? Yeah, that is not... wait. What if both of them were minus? Hell yeah, we got it, guys. We got that. Woo! I feel like this could benefit from more speed, right? Oh my god, look at that. We got something going on. 0.2. Yeah! Wow, this is amazing. Woo! Look at that thing we made, man. Look at that thing we made. Hell yeah. Looks great. Oh no, this will be fucked now. Look at that. Okay, we'll 0 the things. 0. Go back to 0. Wow, look at this trail. 0 again, the time, and then 1000. Just so we see everything. We'll hide our lovely effect here. Bye. And we will go now to the right again. Yeah, this is amazing. This is really working out for us. Yeah, even if it's bigger, like, it doesn't really matter because it's working so nicely and it's so well. The texture is really working here for us. This is awesome, y'all. We'll post about this on the social media. Showing off that trail. Let's give it a 0 again, and the 1000. I feel like we could have a better screenshot here. Let's post about it. Yeah, look at that thing, man. That thing. Just gonna put it down here, and we will go to the Instagram. Just post about it in the story camera, story feed. Good, back like that. And hey y'all, same thing from yesterday. We're streaming today, maybe 5 hours or 6 hours. This is the effect we're working on. It's a projectile. We've created the shader on our own, and it's scrolling like that with some noise distortion, and it's raining like hell. Yeah. Ooh, whoa. Okay, wait. Okay, whatever. Twitch stream is right there. Check it out, y'all. See you there. Bye. It's cool. The camera just zoomed in on my face, but it... Wait a sec. What is happening, man? Wow. Oh, it's like a hurricane. It's freaking crazy. It's so creepy. Ooh. Okay, let me get the link for the stream. I really hope the stream will not be affected by this. Let's see. Weather is crazy. Let's add the link here. And we paste the link. Done. So cool. Just the camera fucked me up here. Funny stuff. Okay, we add some nice filter, and we add that. Cool. To our story. Hell yeah, on Instagram, Jack the Generalist. Check me out. Cool. So far, so good. Let's take that effect back to where it belongs, right here, and keep going. We'll keep learning.
And we have a scroll in the starting table. Now back to Unity. Let me just already scroll. We can add some starting to the text. Kind of feel like we are expanding our text values, and it's looking really cool. I think it is a nice touch. Yeah, we probably will not use more than 0.1 or 0.2 because let's face it, 1 is an enormous. If you want to have a better control over these values, we can go back to paragraph minus 0.1. You can also try minus 0.2 and alright, so that's better. You have more control now over these values. And I'm gonna leave it at around 0.05. And we can even add some motion to our noise. Maybe let's increase the X to 0.5, more or less like minus 0. We can also play with a nice scale. Something around 14 looks nice in my case. You can test the values, as you know. And if you increase it too much, you can get this grain at 15 maybe 10. Alright, let me just round up this value to 0.05. Now we can actually put this back in place by saying the time is 0.3 and the position is. So you can only see how this is working by dragging around, and it's kind of annoying. But we will fix that in just a few moments. And versatile, and can we use it in other parts of our projector? For example, we can use it in the projector out. What we need is basically to duplicate the impact to Control V and add the name of our shader in front. Basically, add scroll like this, so we can distinguish them, which is useful. And we can change the shader now. Okay, so for example, let's set a negative value of 0.05 in this first amount, and maybe it's reflecting our projector. I think it's doing about 10 so we can have a better look. And yeah, I think it looks really nice. You can see, guys, this shader is awesome, and it creates some cool effects, like it's quite burning, basically.
Okay, wait a minute. I'm not focused because there's a lot of rain and I'm worried about the house. But we'll go back and now we learn about this.
So, as you can see, this shader is actually useful and versatile, and can be used in other parts of our between the projector out. What we need is basically to duplicate the impact to Control V and add the name of our shader in front. Basically, add scroll and change the shader now. Okay, so for example, of 0.
Okay, so it should be easy to add those effects on here, on these two. First, we will go to the red fire, check out what this material is. Tiles are those materials. And it should be easy to just duplicate it and then add the name scroll to it. Then we should be able to take a scroll thingy. So we need to save it. Yeah, it is. We'll add scroll underscore HDR. And wait a second. No, not this. Come on. Right here. Yes. Underscore scroll. Where is, yeah, right there. And it should keep the texture exactly. And now what we will also do is okay, we need to play with it a little bit for it to work. Let's lock this here. Let's take the red fire, and first we will take it a little bit away, save the value. It's a 1. No, get a pivot. We have no value. That's good. 3. Yeah, we'll just take it back to 0 once we're done. And now we will go to the material and check out our material now. Roll material right there. Restart exactly. There's a lot of, okay, distortion is right there. Okay, so the noise speed should go now in both ways, probably in both ways, not just the x-axis. Okay, and now we don't see it anymore. Let's try lower values. Yeah, once we add the value here, it loses everything. 5, let's check that out. We first need to take the distortion amount. Maybe the noise scale is too big or too small. Okay, it is too small. Okay, alright. The effect is going nuts right now. 0, 1. Let's take the rotation over lifetime out. Let's take, I mean, it is scrolling right now. It's not spinning, it's scrolling. 0.1. Okay, let's just do it slower so we understand what is happening. And the amount here needs to be, okay, maybe in the 1. Yeah, we'll keep it in the plus. And we will add the noise speed 3. Okay, that is what is affecting it right here. Yeah, that looks good. My thing is, I think its distortion amount is quite fucking distorted. for us, but I have no idea why this is happening here. What is making this effect not work? What is it? What is making it look like that? 10. Oh, 0.2. Okay. Dialing should not really affect anything. But I mean, this looks awesome. What happens if we make it different? Whoa. Dang. Looks good though. For a different effect, for like a portal effect. See it happening. Yeah, 20. Sorry. Yeah, this won't work. 1 and 1. What is causing this? Let me think. Okay, let me check what he has. He stops the rotation as well. Okay, much lower values. Here, 0. 0, 3. 2, 1. Yeah. Okay. This is nice. Distortion amount needs to chill quite a bit. I feel like this axis should not. This needs more. This noise scale needs to be around 6. Yeah, we are getting something. Here you go. It's just manipulating those values. Gives you everything you need. And that weird like rotation over lifetime. Okay, and now we should be able to manipulate this even more. Yeah, now this shouldn't be a 9. The distortion itself could be manipulated. Thing is, it's spinning way too fast. 360. 180. Wait, 180. It's disappearing though. I don't like that. Life speed. Start lifetime. Okay, and now we play with the rotation again. 1. Okay. This disappearing 8. Now it should really disappear. 9. And duration should be a 1. Now it will really disappear. Duration should be 5. Okay, and emission should be 1. Interval of that doesn't really stay like it is. The time matters, I think. 1. Why is it disappearing though? If it's 0, now we're back here. Still disappearing. Why is this happening? My understanding of the duration should not allow this to happen. What the hell is? Why is this? Oh my god! Come on. Start lifetime is a 1. That means in a microsecond. Okay. Still. That sucks. Can I just remove this one? Anyway, just a normal value. Still. I wonder what his settings are. Just checking his settings. 1 duration, 1 lifetime, looping. We are having that. What is the deal here? Better. Okay. I need to go on a bathroom break. See you in a bit. Just so you have something to see. I'll be back. Give me a second, need to do some stuff. Right back. We'll have 7. And now I'm ready to be back. So, some stretches are important. Otherwise, you will just end up with back pain. Let's see. We will water and put the headphones on and get ready to learn more techniques and more stuff to do around visual effects. We have created we go to the pivot. We can show you we've been working on lately. We created a shader to distort the flames. I still feel like it's not doing so much, so we will either manipulate the speed here, which will completely destroy everything, and here too. Yeah, okay, so the main speed is not working here. How about noise speed in the y-axis? Does that change anything? The only way to answer that is to stop it from spinning. Yeah. And now you can see if we put this, yeah. Okay, so we need a minus value because we need it to go the other way. Yeah. And is this sufficient enough? It feels a bit too much like water. So we will put it a bit down, maybe an 8. Yeah, that is chill. That is zen. 6, not 3, 6. That is also chill. Let's go to the rotation of a lifetime. And what happens if we make it rotate 46 degrees? 46. I don't like it. 180. What does that do? Restarts it. How can we just make it go 180 degrees and start from 180 degrees? We need 360, I think. No way around. Okay. We need that to be more visible. So we will take the -1 to -2. Yeah, maybe 1.5. Maybe 1.4. Oh, 1.5 or 1.4. Let's see. And we will return the pivot back to its origin. Good. And now we will do the same thing the same. We'll copy the same settings that we made, so we're not lost again. We're just gonna make a screenshot. We'll take the sniping tool. That's the proper pronunciation for this. Sniping tool. Let's make it that big. Not this. We'll Control Star T. Then we have it on top always. I will put it here, and we'll zoom in here. Check the time, just so I have a track of it. Cool. That's good. That's good stuff. So we will duplicate that. Recall it in fire scroll. I'm not sure if you see it. Yeah, see it. That's good. Scroll, and now we'll change its shader to scroll HDR. In the meantime, I will check on the render from yesterday's streaming. It's the rendering. I'll just put it here so we have an eye on it, and then come back here again. And now we will copy the values, which is 0.09, it's 1100 and 00 and the 3 and the -1.4. And the noise scale is 6. We will close that and go back to the Bluefire and change its material, which is here, right there, and we'll just put it right there and restart. What's happening? World thinks so much rain, going insane. Anyway. Gonna eat something. Check it out. Good. Looking good. Maybe now we can play a little bit with the values and make the noise. Well, first we need the fire to have a pivot 1, maybe 2 even. Yeah, now it's creating that stupid effect because of the different shader. We will examine the shaders and the difference between them, and we will try to make a special addition of that shader. So here we need a 1 in the 1, good size, that's nice. We need to stop the rotation. Now we're letting the Bluefire, interesting, 1. Now we're getting this shit again, minus that, keep it to 1, that fixes it. And we will take the rotation over lifetime. Make it into a 360, otherwise it looks laggy. And we will take the pivot and we will make it... it's good actually. We will take the shader now and try... Well, first we need it to stop spinning just for a while. Let's see what else can we do to make this look better. Can we make the distortion amount higher? Okay, how would that look like on the spin? Looks cool. All right, now we'll put the red fire back. Where is it? Red fire back. We will put it back here in the pivot. Come on, is it the blue fire? We changed the blue fire, right? No, we changed the red fire. But now they're not in sync anymore. Wait a second, which one is this I'm selecting? Yeah, red fire. Why are you not in place? What happened? What did we do? This is so weird. Red fire, maybe. So it's because it's 1. That's why I'm confused. This is amazing. Good. Yeah, this is looking good, guys. Let's take the trail, make that again into a... let's just test it. Sparks need a bit of lower size, and it needs a lower 5 and a lower 1.5. See? Again, looking great. I really like what we have. Yeah, this is great. Love it. Coolio. Yeah, this thing is looking amazing. We did a good job. Let's go back to 0 so we have it in the light and zoom in. Good stuff. We will save everything, make sure that the prefab is applied, and here we are. Okay, good. Let's keep going. Yeah, okay, let's see how we can make more adjustments. So the current video is 47 projectile scene overview. You want to keep up with me.
From one of my most famous packages, the Unix Projectile Volume 1. and only for academic purposes and nothing more. Alright, so let's have an overview of this scene and this is a UI that tells people written basic systems. We also have attached to it, and there's also this. Let's have a quick view of that script. If you understand C#, that's awesome. If you don't, no problem at all. I will explain the basics, and this is where I find the first element of VFX. The VFX is basically where we are going to add. Down here, if you press spacebar, basically, or left mouse, we are basically creating function. Function basically creates a game object, an empty game object with a fire point assigned it. Basically, the fire point of the sphere, this one. So if we have assigned the fire point in inspector, now we can take the effect found. That is, so we can take the projectile right here in the fire point position, and we will take the projectile at the mouse. And down here is the next and previous function. So we can change the projectile, the camera shake, you zoom in and zoom out, and switch camera as well. You can have a better look at these if you want. But what matters now is how the projectile is shot and how it works. Now, once the projectile is found, the projectile itself for script, that basically has a bunch of things that should be in the gun actually, only for showcasing the projectile. Anyway, here's the part where we will find a muzzle flash as soon as the projectile is found, and down here, make the projectile move by simply changing the position of the read body according to the switch. And it moves in the forward direction, which is the blue arrow that creates the Z axis. Don't forget about that, it's really important. And this on collision enter will fire up as soon as the projectile collides. Once it collides, but it will bounce or the hit effect, which is also something that matters to us since we are going to create one. And in here, there's also the rotate to mouse script to rotate any game object towards the mouse. And it uses raycast to do that. It rotates to whatever you aim. That's the help you to understand how this scene works. If it doesn't, you can always contact me.
Just to explain to you what's happening. There's a scene where you could hook your visual effect to test it, where you have like a cannon and you press something and it shoots your VFX. I'm just watching all the way to the end of the result, also eating something in between. Because for me, it's important to know what the end result is, and if I'm interested in that to begin with, to like put time into it or not. So we'll take some time until I know what is asked from us now. But we will all get there soon, and I'll let you know what is asked. I feel like the distortion effect here is going way too insane. Just going to edit that a bit. 6, 5, 4, 6, 5. That looks good. Okay, I will continue watching. Now I'm with the video number 48, making the projectile fly, so I will understand how to do it, but I'm mostly interested in the end result. Is it something I want to do, or maybe not? We'll see. We'll see if it's worth the time to. Are we now learning game dev and how to hook things in Unity, or are we learning visual effects? I think the focus for me right now is visual effects and different strategy to deal with that. Testing itself, don't want to spend a whole day, a whole Friday just figuring out how to hook it up, unless it's super important. So just check it out. Also, we're missing the splash effect when it hits.
And let me just turn on the white off and attach it to the parent of the part position. That's why we attach everything to an empty. Remember in the beginning we talked about that? Okay, so we are not going to use gravity, by the way. Now let's also add a sphere collider so it can detect if it has collided with something or not. Now,
okay, we will follow along quite simply now. Probably gonna take those out. Okay, give me a second. We'll go inside here in the prefab, take those things out of the blue fire, keep them independent. Oh wait, well, you need to be deleted. You guys go here, then down again, then delete, then save, then back. Yes, good. Now we have the projectile version 1, which is this effect that we created. And now we will add a collider. Collider, where is it? Collider, and it will be a sphere collider, most likely. Sphere collider, yes. Good. We'll keep playing here. Just let me do something in between. And we'll be right back at you. Okay. Now we can keep going. So if you don't see the sphere, you have to enable this here. And now we will increase the radius, which we could manipulate from here. We will also, yeah, let's just keep it like that. This looks good. This is how we will know if it hit or not. In game development, so far I know, it's good to have it a bit outer than the particle itself from a game design perspective, or is it the other way around? I don't know. You could leave that in the comment. I have no idea. Let's keep going.
Now, we only need to add the projector, and let's say for now
Good. There's a script that he provided for us. Projectile move script. Yes, we have it. And now we could add the speed, accuracy, fire rate, muzzle prefab, and hit prefab, shot SFX, hit SFX, so sound effect. And we will check it out now. The speed 0 or okay, so the speed should determine the actual speed of the effect. So the more, the faster. The accuracy, I guess, if you would want it to miss. The fire rate is how often do you shoot? Does it shoot 1 particle, 2 particles, 3 particles? The muzzle prefab, that is that muzzle effect we talked about. When you shoot a gun, there's this, there's this effect that goes like for a second, and that we still need to create. Then we have the hit prefab, that is the hit effect that we still need to create. And then we have a shot SFX, which is the sound effect. We might even create that on our own, or we use some of the SFX that he provided for us. And we have the hit SFX. Okay, so I know I talked trash about this step before, but I kind of like it because you get to see the final, you get to taste the fruits of your labor. Good. I'm really excited. Might make a cup of coffee. I will be right back because I'm getting really hyped right now. We'll be right back. Please play the effect. Whoop. Right back. We are right back. And we'll keep going with this system to test our effects, of course. Nice. Coffee is always nice. Should be enough lights for now. Let's check it out. Cool. Let's continue then.
And the accuracy is at maximum, which is 100, and fire rate is set to 1.
Basically, he puts the values he knows that will work because he created the script, and the fire rate should be 1, I guess. Check it out. Yes, correctly. Okay, so this is per second, so fire rate will be 1 each second, I guess.
So let's leave it. And let's also leave it empty because we will see in a moment why we need. Now, in our scene, we only need to drag and drop the projectile to the VFX list.
Okay, we'll go to that scene now. We will save. We'll save our project actually. Save project, and we will go to that scene made for us. The project scenes, and it's projectiles. This has a weird shader right there. We will just change it to unlit, actually lit. Where is it? GUI, now FX, no nature, no skybox, no sprites, no universal render pipeline, and lit. Good that we have something. Gonna make it a bit darker. Good, that is the scene he provided for us. We could only use for, I still have the break graphics. Okay, we can use for, we can use to test our projectiles. And now we will hook everything up together so it makes sense. We will go, let's see. Okay, so what we will do is, I think we didn't save the stuff we added in the other scene. Let's check again. Okay, did we save everything here? We need to save that prefabs in order to apply it. Also forgot one more thing. I think the blue here could look better if we study the other shader we had. So I will start writing a list. Fix blue, and then we need to make materials. We have to set up the scene. The scene together. In the chat, together with the course. So first, let's fix the blue. In order to fix the blue, we need to study the shader that it had before, and that we could do with going to the materials in the projectile and then check the older one. This one, it used a shader called, let me expand that a little more, HDR spiral. Okay, now we will examine HDR spiral. So we will edit shader. Here we are. We will check the transparent. So we'll check those values of the shader itself. We will check it. We will see that, put them next to each other. so we have space, and we can examine those things better. Gonna make them like such. So we study them and we see how we can introduce new functions, because I think we might need a completely new shader for, or just a variant of this one at least, just for the blue fire. So now we will compare them. Graph settings and graph settings, one by one. Precision, single, nice. Material, unlit, allow material, override, no. Select surface type, we have transparent, alpha, additive. That is the difference. What we will do now is we will make a variant out of the particle add scroll HDR. So we go to the shader folder right there. Give me a second. Let me read through it. Shaders. It is called add scroll HDR. We will copy paste that one. Give it a different name. It will be called, instead of add, it will be called alpha, and HDR same. Okay. Now we will open that shader to edit, and it will open right here. And we will take that one, put it next to it like we did before. And here we will we will change that to alpha, and we will save it. And we will see now if this had fixed our problem. We put both on a different monitor. Then we go back right here. We go back to the assets, then materials. Wrong. We go back here, materials, projectile, and we have those things that we created. We copy that one, we paste it again, we rename it to scroll, and then alpha instead of add. Now we change the shader to, come on, help me God, right here, and then we change it to the scroll one with the alpha. Then we go here, we change the blue fire, we snap to the blue fire. Okay, something is not working. This is the game scene. We don't need the game scene. We need the scene. And then we will go right here. We'll allow it to change the material in the renderer. And then we will go and choose the correct one, which is this one. I think there's more work to do, and that is to be expected. But let's check it out first. We'll put it right here. Okay. So that is the first result we got. I think we still need to study a little more about this. The difference between that and that. Give me a little, let me just think a little bit. The way we could fix this, go back here. It is the HDR spiral. This had worked for us before. In order to test it, let's just apply it one more time, because there is no shame in trying something again. We see it, it's freaking bright. Maybe we could just take that down a notch too. Yes, it works from far, it looks good, and that is the result we want to get. But we see here that the texture is a bit different, and it uses this type of texture, the one with the PNG, the one with the background. And so that is our first mistake that we realized that we've been doing. So we go to the blue fire. Now we don't have to edit the shader anymore. We can just put that back again here. And then please take the correct shader, which will be the one with the transparency. And now we have a similar result to what we had before, which is great. And now we'll put it on 1.5. See how would that look like. It's already looking gorgeous, looking really good. Yeah. I really enjoy it. It looks good. Maybe even a bit more. 1.7. Yeah, this looks quite fiery to me. Now we will make it go, and we will picture the difference. Yeah. All right. Difference is already great. We will save everything we've done. We'll go right here. We will override everything we have changed because we're happy with the results. Then we will drink some coffee and click on the render. It's still rendering, finalizing the render. That's fine. We have some messages. That's me. I'm talking to myself. It's fine. So we will now, that coffee is so damn good. we had fixed the blue. This is why it's good to always have a track of things I've been doing. And then now we need to set up the scene together with the course. Then let's keep going there. We'll go back to that scene that's been provided for us from the course in here. Good stuff, nice stuff. And now we will add the prefab in that scene. We go right there. It's not the area of effect, it's the projectile version number 1. Good, here we have our effect. That looks great. We probably need to copy the volume effects of the post-processing from the other scene. Let's see if it would work if we just copy them over. So we will go scenes, and then we will go to VFX scene. We will save that scene, and we're back here.
The first one is previously known as Shuriken, and the other one is the new
Yeah, we need that quieter.
Both of them have advantages and disadvantages.
Good. That's sweet spot right there. Good. So we will start learning more. I will get that Twitch window out of here, and we will upload that fucker. Good, good, good. So now we could start. So coffee is here, and what we will do is create first Unity VFX graph. We will start learning that. Quiz. Really quick now. We'll go with double the speed. We will go in the middle of the video.
That's our second point. GPU handles thousands of particles, and GPU can handle millions. But why can a GPU handle millions? Well, it can handle particles easily because it is the ability to carry out the same time. And that's because if Shuriken uses the CPU, then it can also handle physics very well, and even sound right.
Skippy.
Really well. But it can also add direct, which is super useful. The particle can also prove as the shader properties, but that's a little bit more difficult.
Okay, I'm really not interested in the theory that much, or what are the cons and the pros at the moment. I will just keep going one by one, learn what I need, and we will keep going. So there's a zip file that we just downloaded. I will check where that got downloaded right now. So I'm opening my download history, and I'm going there and opening the folder. That's good. And now we will take that folder, put it actually in the downloads because it's got downloaded in the wrong folder. We don't need that. And now I'll extract the zip file. Here we have a Unity package, I guess, or is it actually a file? Let's check. So you get that zip file, unzip it, download Unity, open Unity, and actually select that Unity file. Let's see. Yeah, okay. He basically tells us to use the same version of Unity. I don't want to do that. I will save that file here. Since we will pretty much follow along the tutorial and learn more about the shader or the visual effect graph, that means that we will not open that folder unless there's something important in it. Overview, good. Good, he has his own layout, we will not use that. And what else is there? Processing effect, we have that working for us. We have a main camera, good. We have a scene, background. Okay, we will not use that. Okay. Shader graph, and what else do we need in the package manager? Visual effect graph. Let's check on those two if we have them. So what we would do is we would go to the window and then to the package manager. Let's check that out. Good. And now we will look for built-in. We will look for visual. Okay. Those are what we have installed, I guess. Now visual shader, not visual effects graph. Yeah, we will install that. That's one of the things we need. So we're installing it. Universal render pipeline, we have that on as well. One last thing, preferences and visual effects. Okay. We are waiting until this is installed first. We'll just go back to see what he wants from us. One more back. Project set what's in the edit, project settings, and then visual effects. We will check on that once this is installed. So far I feel like this needs more pixelation. So I will just go here, properties, and just to be sure, I will just make it a bit more pixelated. Here, we'll make that a bit more pixelated. We have a filter and just a little bit more, be on the safer side. Okay, that's good. And now we will actually go up. We will play this. Now we will go back to the private. This one, good. And we'll go edit, project settings. And then we will go to visual VFX, this one, and see what he chooses. Experimental operation we need to turn on. Let's see if we have that. Until now I haven't seen it. So max delta time, blah blah blah, shader, copy buffer shader, sort shader, strip update shader, runtime resources, batch, empty lifetime, version control. We don't need that. Yeah, that is the V. Okay, so we don't have that because our Unity version is a bit different. Ooh, wait a sec. I think we opened the wrong thing, so we will go back again. We'll go preferences. Okay. Edit, preferences, and then go to the visual effects, improve shader, graph generation, experimental operations blocks that we need on. Good. Now we go to the edit and then preferences or project settings, and now we will go to, let's see. We'll go to graphics. Okay, well, let's go to graphics then. They are right here. We're using universal RP. Okay. We're just gonna check out if
we may need it in future bonus versions. Anyway, that's pretty much needed, and you can turn on depth texture and opaque texture. We may need it.
Okay, so we will select that in the settings here. We have universal RP, and in here we can enable depth and opaque texture because we might need it. Good, we will just do that then. Good, save. Now we will just save the whole project. We go file, save project. Are you guys excited? Let's dive deep into this shit, man. I'm so excited. We're gonna do this thing. Let's get it together. We're gonna save. Yeah, let's just save it. Keep going. Let's go. He teaches us how to turn off some gizmo things that might be distracted, and now we will finally dive into the VFX graph. The name of the video that we are currently in is called VFX graph overview. The section we are in is the second section. The first section was an introduction section. The second section that we are in currently called VFX graph overview. The third section is orb explosion. The fourth section is conclusion. So for the second section that is called VFX overview or graph overview, we'll go over the stuff that we will use for the VFX graph. Current video is a complete overview. The video that comes afterwards is a VFX graph sparks. So we will learn about the sparks. Then we have graph sparks again. We'll learn different things about that. Then we have sparks again and sparks again. So in the first, we have like 4 videos that we will watch that have that graph sparks. The first one will teach us about shape and alignment. The second one will teach us about gravity and color. The third one will teach us about set position and world and local space. The fourth one will teach us about collision and trigger events. This is all exciting stuff, you guys. The section 3, which is called orb explosion. We have the first video that will teach us about starting the orb texture. Then the third video will teach us about orb flare. The fourth video will teach us about starting ground area of effect. And then this, okay, so we will go through a lot of video on section 3. Then section 4, we have the last words. Good, so I'm so freaking hyped. I'm so freaking ready. Let's do this thing.
Thing we want to do is go to the prefab folder and we right click, create the visual effect graph. You can name it to VFX graph _ sparks. We are going to create some sparks while we do an overview of how visual effects.
Okay, so first thing I notice is that the video is going way too fast, so I will slow it down a notch and I'll try to focus now. So in the prefabs, we have to create something new. I quite don't like how this is set up. So we'll keep it on one alignment. We will actually close this. We will go to prefab. I'm just having the same project organization like he has. I'll create a new folder here. I'll call it shader visual VFX graph. Exactly. And now we will learn about that method of creation. Good. So
we are going to create some sparks while you can name it to folder and we right click, create the visual effect graph.
Good. So the way you could create your first graph is you go into create, because that's the first action you want to do. You want to create something. And now when you have this, you go down all the way to visual effects, which should be next to lighting settings right there. If you don't see that, you need to install the package manager visual effects graph. And now you press on visual effect graph. We will call it.
You can name it to VFX graph _ sparks. We are going to create some sparks while.
Good. We will call it VFX graph. Good. And we will name that one sparks. Good. That's what it's shown until now.
How visual effect graph works. Now we can create an empty in our scene. We can name it to VFX _ sparks.
We will create a new empty. Disable that one. Keep it saved somewhere. And we're back here. We'll create an empty. We'll call it VFX G, just so I can differentiate. Actually, let's keep it like it is, because it doesn't matter the method you use. If it's VFX, it should still be VFX. We'll call that spark loop, and we will keep it right here and give it a 0, 0, 0, and we'll play the video.
Transform. So it is in the center of our
okay.
Of the cube, which by the way has more or less the same height of a person. And then we can parent, drag and drop the VFX graph we created. Yeah, make sure you parent to the VFX _ sparks and then reset the transform. Okay, just like this. Perfect.
Okay, so we'll go back a bit.
Then we can parent, drag and drop the VFX graph we created of our scene. And now I'm going to push it more or less around here in front of the cube, which by the way has more or less the same height of a person.
We'll create a loop, a cube. Create a loop. Create a cube. We will make sure that cube is standing on the ground, and like this is a bit too much over the ground. Okay, we will scale it in the Y, right? Yeah, up to 1.8, which is the height of a human. We will make it quite skinnier than this. 0.3. That's too skinny. 0.4, 0.4. Okay. And now we'll go back from isometric to a normal view. That should be a height of a human. Now we will put that thing a bit further away. We'll take our VFX spark loop that we will create. We'll put it right on the top here. And now we'll make sure that it is also, yeah, like on the head or something. We will take the thing we just created, the visual effect graph sparks, and put it in the beneath the VFX loop. We will reset the transforms, and they will be spawning exactly where we have the empty. Okay.
And that's not very useful. Reset the transform. Perfect. Now, as you may notice, our anchor is in the middle of this VFX graph, and that's not very useful. We can switch it up here instead of center. We can say it's pivot.
We're just gonna keep going.
Graph. We can press the edit button while we are selecting the VFX graph _ spark. And I'm going to drag the VFX graph. We can press the edit button.
Okay, so
what we could do now is click on this, which is the same thing we just created in the VFX graph, which we called VFX graph Spark. Now we go into the edit and it should open us a new window like that. And now we will learn how to use that VFX graph to our own benefit. It looks so far very similar to the particle system that we had before, and we will see how we can manipulate it to our own, effect that we want to do. So let's keep watching.
The VFX graph underscore Spark. And I'm going to drag this window. I'm going to dock it to more or less around here. And I'm going to make some room where we will have the scene on the left and VFX graph on the right. Now, if you don't...
Okay, so obviously we need a bit more room here. So we need to organize things a bit more because we would need to split the windows as such right now. We need to make sure that we have enough space for everything. This should work. This should work in theory. In case it doesn't work, I might need to... Let's see. It should work. We're just gonna make this a bit smaller. This also a bit smaller. And now we should have enough space for everything. I'll quite make this like the same size here. Okay. Just have to get used to it. So, play.
In our VFX graph window, you can press F.
And I will also add this layout, call it save layout. I'll call it VFX graph workflow workshop. Okay. And save that. And now I will take this away. Keep the system we had before of having that on the side. Also with all the other things. Let's see if Unity actually is capable enough of saving those things. It should really. I don't know why it wouldn't. And now we should save that layout to visual effect particles workflow workshop. Okay. And now we will change between them. So VFX graph workshop. We got that. Good. So this is how you switch between the layouts and how you can save your own layout. Okay, let's keep playing.
And up here we have two buttons, one for the blackboard panel and the other for the target game object panel. Well, the blackboard, if you press the plus sign, it is where we are going to add like floats, colors, gradients.
This is very similar to the shader graph. In here, you can add the float stuff, like we had before. We have vector, vector 2, vector 3, vector 4. We have UINT, I guess, transform, torus, texture 3D, texture 2D array, texture 2D, terrain type, sphere, skinned mesh renderer, position, plane, oriented box, mesh, matrix 4x4, line, int, like integer, graphics buffer, gradient, grade, float, flipbook, direction, cube map array, cube map, cone, color, circle, camera, bool, axis aligned box, arcturus, arc sphere, arc cone, arc circle, animation curve, category. Let's check it out.
And so on.
There's one more thing that we have here that we could change, which I don't see. That means they either... Yeah, you could hide things, enable other things. This is cool, VFX control it's called. This could be interesting for later. We might need that. We might use it. Man, guys, I'm so fucking excited for this. Really excited. The hype is real. I'm really ready to learn this stuff. Okay, let's keep going.
We have the target game object, and it's useful for a few reasons. As you may notice, we can detach because it is attached to VFX graph underscore Spark. I'm going to press the detach button, and for example, if I select VFX graph underscore Spark, in the scene view, we will have these play controls, right? And now we can attach this VFX graph underscore Spark. And the cool thing is that if we select another object, the play controls in the scene disappear, but the target game object is still there. And it's very useful because if you are selecting another object, you can still play VFX graph at the same time. As you can see, we can play, we can stop it, and there's also another cool feature, which is the play rate. If you decrease, you are kind of seeing the effect in slow motion. And that's very useful when we are creating visual effects that require...
Okay, so one thing to learn is this thing right here, which is called, let's give it a display controls of the game object currently attached. And this thing is the black board. They call it the black board. Actually, my back hurts a little bit. I'm just gonna do like 2 minutes of stretching. We'll be right back to you guys. I'm just gonna, yeah. I'll be right back. It shouldn't be a huge deal. Just gonna be back. Okay, we're back. Did some stretching. Not a big deal. So, headphones. Let's keep going. So, good. Hell yeah. Let's learn. Break by.
Precise timing. You can slow down, or I'm gonna leave it at 100.
Okay, so we need to, in the hierarchy, we need to click on the proper VFX graph here. And we need, and in this way, we have the VFX control, which has similar options than the other one we had before. This plays the rate, how fast or slow it should be. I quite like it controls here better than the other one. Here we have the pause, the play, we have the stop and play again. And here we have the next, which we don't have anything at the moment. And this one should reset it, reset and play. Okay, play rate 100. We could set it up even to something, that's good. Bounds recording, I wonder what that means. Events on play or on stop. Okay, that's cool. What happens if I click one? No idea. We have to check that out later. Debug no modes. Active efficiency none. Good. Then, okay, so just a little bit of explanation why we're learning now. All of a sudden, we went from the projectile all the way to the visual, to the Unity visual effect graph. The reason for that is I am always interested in a well-rounded knowledge. So when I felt like I could not make the projectile move from point A to point Z, I knew that there's a next course about a visual effect graph that could help me with that. I still don't know if that would help me to 100%. So I would figure out that right now. But so I will either learn about it and now I will know about how it works, or I will be disappointed and then I would have to just look how to animate. Both ways, I gain knowledge. So it's all a win-win situation. For now, if this means for me that I will reach that goal, amazing. If it means that I will learn more, amazing too. So it's all good. We will learn that for now a little bit, and actually we'll go really in depth to it, and we will put our time and start grinding with the visual effect graph. Let's play it. We know how to play it now. It's good. These step by step. Let's keep going.
Now let's move on to the main event, which is VFX graph. These nodes that we have here. And this is where people may get confused. So let's go ahead and simplify this. This is mainly divided into 4.
This is the style of Gabriel's teaching. I really love it. It's all about simplification. He's like, this is intimidating. Let's simplify it. Not a lot of teachers do that. A lot of courses of other courses, you have like, oh, well, you have to deal with it. This is how you do it, and then you click this and that and that. But Gabriel really takes the time to explain what each and every option does, what those things are. Although, like, it won't get into depth as much as you would like to, but it's enough to get you going on your own. So, the name of the course, Gabriel Aguar Unity Visual Effect Graph on Udemy, and I think Flip Normals. Check them out if you ever wanna experiment with those things on your own. Highly recommend it. And I always try to not copy one-to-one the things that I'm learning. What I cover is my experience of learning. I'm not trying to take the attention away. More so, I'm trying to even support their business. So,
the spawn area up here, the initialize particle, the update particle, and output particle, also known as the renderer. So what does each part do? Well, it's simple. The first part, the spawn area, spawned? Are they spawned with a constant rate, like now? It's spawning 16 particles per second? Or is it a burst of 100 particles? Or is it a periodic burst?
Okay, so what I understand so far that it's quite similar to the particle system that we were playing with in the past 4 episodes so far of this stream. The spawn section, so it's divided into sections, okay? We have the spawn system, then we have the system, we have we have the spawn system, and then we have that thing here, that square that goes from darker orange to green, or it goes from green to darker orange, more likely, if I'm being more correct. It's called system. We could rename that. That's good. I guess that's similar to the shader name. We'll just keep it system right now. And we will experiment with the other things later. So we start with spawn. Spawn is a bit close to emission. How many particles are being emitted or spawned in that case per second? Now we have 16. We could make it 20. We could make it 200, and we see it happening in front of our eyes. Good. Now there are different ways to spawn. We will go through them as we go. He mentioned a couple of ones. I just don't want to copy the course one-to-one. Initialize particle. Initialize particle. I'm trying to understand that a little bit. I can't right now, but I can see that there's an option that is called capacity. The capacity sets the maximal particle capacity, the maximum particle capacity of the system. Particles spawned after the capacity has been reached are discarded. Okay, so now we have 220. When I put 200, it doesn't really look that different to it. And that is because we have 32 of capacity. If we have that up to 200 now, we will see much more. Yeah, okay, so what it did, for performance reasons or for whatever reason, it had kept it to 20. And this is good if you really just want to have a performant effect, that you would just change that, I guess. That's my guess for now. So it was on 32, we will keep it on 32. Now, the bounds mode specifies how the bounds are set. They can be set manually, recorded in the target game object window, or computed automatically at a small performance cost. Here we have recorded. There's a manual and there's an automatic. If we choose manual, we are able to change it. Meaning, if I click on it, well, we will see what that means later. So for now, it will be automatic or recorded. That is fine too. Good. Now we have bounds. Bounds mean the culling bounds of this system. The visual effect is only visible if the bounding box specified here is visible to the camera. Well, we will get to know that very soon. We have local world or none. I guess that could be similar to the simulation space, but we will find out later. Bounds padding. Some additional padding to add the culling bounds set above it can be helpful when using recorded bounds. We will check that later, I guess. For now, we can't really understand it to 100%. Set velocity random per component. That's, I guess, close to the velocity that we were working with the particle system. But we may also know more about that. We can see that it is affecting them when it hits a certain axis, when you add a number in a certain axis too. Okay, we see it going now like in that way. Good. We have 2 values. I guess that's random between 2 values. We will check that out later. Set lifetime random. Of course, with random, that means it's a value between 2 constants. I like how different this is. It has a different way to show the things. We have here update particle. We will check all of this out later. I'm just getting excited with the options that we have. Output particle quad, shader graph. I guess that is close to the renderer. and it has set size over lifetime, orient face camera plane, set color over lifetime. Okay, my understanding is that this is more GPU oriented. I could be wrong. I'm not so technical. I don't have so much knowledge, but it's reminding me of how GPU work. So that is quite interesting. Put this like this. Okay, cool. We will keep going with the course, learn new stuff. It's really exciting stuff we are learning.
Basically, the spawn. Then comes the initialized particle, which besides controlling the capacity of this particle system, it handles how the particle it is initialized. Remember, this is per particle, which gives us a lot of control on how each particle works. This also gives a set of instructions to each particle when it's spawned. Basically, we can initialize a particle with a certain velocity within a certain area. We can give it a duration, which is known as lifetime. We can give it an angle, and many more. We spawn the particle, and then we initialize a few variables with the particle. But if after the particle is spawned and initialized, if you still want to change its behavior, then you will use the update particle section, where you can change many more properties as well, but continuously. It works basically like the update method that any C# entity can have. You want your particles to keep moving around like flies, you do it here. And after you have done all of these, you still need to show the particle. You need to render the particle.
Okay, so different things do different things that we got, and now I understood that you could actually have an organization that is a bit different in the particle system. You could, if you wish to have that here, wish to have that here, and that one here. So this is really, really, really close to the shader graph, and I really like this, that you could change things in that way. Okay, so now I split them because I don't want to have them in a scrolling order. I want to understand them now, and I want to separate them visually. And I want to have this update particles. It was squished, and it seems to have a certain importance. And I want to have it a bit far away from the other stuff, just so I have visually separated the things to understand that there's difference. So for now, we'll keep learning new things. I will let you know if I've learned and you think that expands my understanding.
Which is what this last section is meant to do. And like I said, a particle can be a texture or a mesh, basically a 3D object, and among other things. Basically here, you control the aspects of the particle. Is it a flipbook? Is it tiny or big? Should it fade out? Should it grow smaller? You can even make direct changes to a shader in a much more intuitive way compared to the particle, which is quite an improvement. The particle system could also interact with the shader, but it was not that straightforward. So these are the four main parts of the VFX graph. We got the spawner, the initialized particle, the update particle, and the renderer. Now let's see all of these in action, and let's see some cool tips and tricks while we create a few sparks.
Okay, we'll go to the next video, which is it seems to be a quiz. We will keep going.
So let's get started with the sparks. And we are going to create the VFX graph that can be used as some looping sparks or as an impact. And as you can see, currently we have a constant spawn rate, which is continuously spawning 16 sparks. It's already looping. So if we disable this constant spawn rate and press spacebar, we can search for bursts, and we get a periodic burst and a single burst. We want the single burst because this allows us, for example, to spawn 15 particles at one time, as you can see. Now, wouldn't it be cool if
It's going a bit too fast for me. We're gonna go back a bit.
so it's already looping. So if we disable this constant spawn rate and press spacebar, we can search for bursts, and we get a periodic burst and a single burst. We want the single burst because this allows us, for example, to spawn 15 particles at one time, as you can see. Now, wouldn't it be cool if we could use these two whenever we wanted? So let's turn on the constant spawn rate, and then the way we do it is we create a property, so we can use it in inspector. We are going to create a boolean, and we are going to call it loop. Is it going to loop, or is it only going to be an impact? Make sure the value is true. So yeah, as you can see, we have it already, and it's useful because we can create several prefabs, and they all have different purpose. So we got a loop boolean. You can simply drag and drop it really on here, and if we press spacebar, there is a lot of nodes. we got the logic section, which can be used to program. And in here we have a branch. It's basically an if.
Ooh, okay. We're getting into like blueprint territory right now, which is even more exciting to understand the behavior and okay, so this visual effect graph gives a lot of control. That's my first impression of it so far. You can like disable components, enable components, you could add components, just very similar to the shader graph. For example, if you want a burst, you could type in burst, go up for us. Maybe you have to type in the spawn, and now you write burst. Exactly. Single burst. You can have them above each other like that. We can have them work together, work on their own. 10, and here we have 2. So first there will be 10 particles and then 2 per second. You could, this is one of the things that we were reading, like those things. Now we're getting into the territory of programming, the territory of blueprint and logic. So I will just follow along the course, but like you could have a float value, you can have an integer. This is one of the very first thing you learn in programming. You have vector values. It's very similar to the shader graph. Again, repeating myself a lot. So just so I can understand it, because I feel like I can learn more if I repeat. Well, we need a bool. A bool is basically a value that sets a 0 or a 1, nothing in between. It's either true or false. We will call this loop. And this is similar to the particle. What we will do right now is similar to the particle system where you just enable or disable loop. So we'll just put it right here. And then we will have something called branch. Branch is like logic. It's like if or else. It's like programming, but it's called branch. So we will just get used to that right now. Is it in the context? Is it in the operator? Or is it in the property or system or MISC? Go to MISC? No. Is it in the system maybe? Well, we will just look for it. So it is here. That's at least the thing. I just want to get used to that system. System, empty heads, blah, blah, blah. We don't need that. Property, loop, good. That's what we have in the VFX graph sparks, what we added on our own. It's called property. Operator, and now we go logic. So operator, because it operates a certain thing. Logic, because it's basically one at the end nor not. So it's basically adding logic. And here it is. Now we put them next to each other like we have in the course. We try to follow along, learn the rules first, and then try to break them. You have to be compliant to the rules. You have to follow along very closely, and then you could start breaking the rules if you wish to do so. Just let me tie my hair with something else. Wow, man, this is really a lot of work. But I love it, so we will learn.
The loop boolean? Well, if loop is true, we will spawn 15 particles per second in the constant spawn rate. Let's copy and paste the branch. Control C and Control V.
So first thing we would understand is that those operators, those parameters, those whatever you want to call them, you could hook them to each other. So you have those points, you can hook this to here. Then we have our, what did we call it? Just so I will be sure. Our property that we just created, which called loop. And it has 2 values of true or false. We have it right here. And we hooked it up to the branch, which is basically an if logic node. And that will, you could see if it's true, it would do this number. So for example, 70. And if it's false, we'll go minus 70. Let's have a different logic than the one he's going with in the course. But I don't think a minus would help here. So we'll just have it 7. So we will hook that thing in either one of those. It depends which one. And you could see already that the value of the loop, the bool, can be always applied to the first thing in those nodes or in those systematic in the spawn thingy. So the reason for this is you could always, this is a bool, guys.
Like turning off something, turning on something is a bool. And you could make a property out of that and call it burst on or off and just hook it right into it. And this should work. But for now, we're doing a logic step. We're showcasing what the visual effects graph can do. Gabriel is guiding us to understand, hey, this is what this thing can do. It has a bit more options. It has a bit more logic. You can do a couple of things with it. You can add parameters to it, properties to it, so you can control it outside of it, and it will be similar to the shader graph. So you can on the go change a couple of things, make variants out of it, and you have an effect that you can expand over levels, for example, that you could color, that you could edit over different textures, different colors, different intensities, different bursts or spawn rates. So, for example, you have that weapon that when you didn't upgrade it, it maybe shows a couple of sparks in the beginning, and then you upgrade it, and then you have even more sparks and more sparks as you're going. And this is just a dynamic way to work with particles. This is what I'm getting. This is my first understanding about visual effects graphs in Unity. This is my very essential, very beginning, basic understanding. And we'll keep going. Maybe I'm wrong. Correct me if I'm wrong. We'll keep going and enjoy this learning experience. So we will hook this up to the rate. And now we will see that the rate number here is completely gone. It's unavailable for us. Why? Because we have it hooked with a logic. We have it hooked to a bool logic. Now, the loop is enabled. If I'm not mistaken, it is exposed is basically making it public, so to speak. In a code, you can make something exposed to the editor or to be exposed to other things, so you could bring them or mentioning them or summon them in another code. Exposed would mean, in my understanding, that when we click on the VFX Spark, we will have the loop either enabled or disabled. And now we would hide the expose of it, and we save that, and then we go back here, and now the loop is gone. There's no properties here to mess with because we have made it private. If we have exposed it and we save that, we go back here, we see it exposed, and guess what? We can play with it. That's it. Good. For now, it's not doing much. We have to keep going with the video to make that logic work better. So let's continue.
Connect the loop, and now we say that if it's false, well, it will spawn 25 particles in a single burst. You see what we are doing here? Now, what will happen, as you can see, if I enable...
Hi. Oh, hi, Vexord. How's it going? Let me see. Hi. See, also as actual physical example, I made a sun that I can color and inflate, deflate, make flares in a single asset game object. I can use that as a different game object in every location, as it also has height, so it can be an explosion with some yeah, right? This is my current understanding. This is very exciting, and I really wanted to go in depth in that, so it's a good step that we actually went. Has light, not has height. So has light, yes. Okay, I get it now. And I really wanted to go into the shader, what is it called, the Unity visual effects graph, before I continue with my projectile. The projectile is still here, by the way. I'm not sure if you've seen the latest results of that, Vexord. It looks now like that. We've added some shader to it that basically plays with the flames, and we have added a trail. I'm sure you were here yesterday. I'm just gonna showcase it for you so you can maybe help me out with something that I'm trying to figure out here. And that is, how can I, well, I'm just gonna hide this for now. How can I make the projectile simulate the... Oh, thank you. How can I simulate an explosion in the beginning? Well, let me draw it for you so you understand what I'm trying to do here. So here we go. I'll just try to explain to you what I thought the visual effect graph can do versus what I wanted to do. So what I wanted to do is have one particle system. If I have enabled it, it does the impact animation, or not the impact animation. This is the other animation. This is the muzzle animation. So boom, right? So this is where it starts. Then it goes this way. And then after a second or two, it not only disappears, but there's an explosion where it hits, or where it's supposed to hit, right? How can I do that? Does the visual effect graph help me with animating such a thing? That is my question. Or do I need the timeline? Or can I do all of it just with the particle system? And with the shader, with the visual graph, help me with that? Now that is the thing that I'm trying to understand here. I mean, basically, if it can't help me, then I would go with understanding it, despite the fact that it won't help me, because I think if I understand it first, it could make me understand it better. So you can do this from both code and visual graph particles. Okay, I understand that I could do it with code. However, with code, it for me will be... That was basically our initial plan, to do it with code. Gabriel had provided a scene where it's supposed to work, but all the scripts were missing. And I think that's due to the Unity version. We actually had someone on the stream that worked with Gabriel. It's so cool. What a nice coincidence. And they said to me that it also didn't work for them. So now I'm wondering, because I was able to do it before, and I will show you an example. And maybe together now we could understand it a little more. So we will pause the visual effect graph for now, just so we see other stuff. And then we will go back to the visual effects graph because it's still interesting. So Vexor said, I'm not sure how much you need to combine them. Okay, let's take it by steps. Go ahead. I will just show you an effect I've done before, so we have it, because I remember I've done a similar thing before. Just gonna go there right now. Timeline animation, materials. Where's the scenes? Here's the scenes. Elemental studies. Let's try lock-in. And now we will enable those particles. Now we will go to fire. Those are the things that I worked on before. That's the explosion, the very simple one. Explosion again. This is the healing thing that I've done. That is something I used as a reference to do animation. Let's try this one. I think it's this one, the missile. Let's play it. Yeah. Okay. Here we go. That is what I'm anyway trying to do. First step, the initial explosion, the muzzle flash. Yes. Do you remember the explosion on the ground light thing in the particles you made last time? The explosion, yes, I remember that beam. That like beam, or the shockwave. Or maybe we could do a shockwave and beam. We could just copy those effects. I have no problem with that. And now I'm just gonna try to understand wind up and missile impact. Okay, so this is the first thing we did, and then we made a missile, and then we made an impact. And each of them have a delay of some sort. Looping, 1.5 duration. This should be the first thing, so it has no delay. This one has it. Oh, it doesn't have a delay. Delay 0 and delay 0. Good. So far I understand it. Missile should happen after a delay, but it doesn't. Yeah, because it's playing right in the middle of it. And the impact should have a delay now. Yes. No, it doesn't. Okay. New message. Well, imagine you create that light and spawn the projectile with a size over time, for example. Okay. Okay. Let's go there. Let's do it right now. Let's go back to the scene and check it out, because I was really interested to making that. So let's do it anyway. Do less talking and more doing. prefabs in, right? Don't save. Okay. Now projectile, go in. Okay. So we said, can I delete that? We will add. So blue fire, you, my friend, need a size over lifetime. Okay, so we will start one by one, step by step, like you told me. We'll check that out. I think we need to parent those things inside the blue fire. Okay, now let's go step by step for now. Really step by step. Check it out. I'll change the workshop here to particles workshop. Okay, so we're back here. Good. Let's see. Size over lifetime. Here we go. Yeah. We need to disable the loop, I guess. And we need to give it a more duration. Give me 5 seconds, 5 seconds. And now we will... okay, so a new message. So that example had multiple separate particles. Children, copy the light on the ground, one, and add and change the rotation. For example, let me try to understand. Let's do first the size over lifetime, which is now, it's not looping anymore. Let's restart it. Where are we? Yeah. Okay. Okay. So we need an emission we need just one emission, and something that I'm not understanding is why would it do that? Yeah. Okay. Okay, that is weird though, because it should have a duration of 5 seconds and the start lifetime of 5 seconds. This should, in theory... Oh wait, it's the other way around. I have always thought about it. Ah, now I get it. I have a better understanding about that, so that's worth it. And now we'll make that size over lifetime happen. But my problem here is it's only playing for a second again, although the duration should be 5. Okay, play that again. 1. Okay, so this is so weird, man. I can't get it so well. How can I make it play? How can I make it play the other way around then? So 5 seconds here and 1 second here. That wouldn't work, no matter what I do. Yeah, you need to compare it. You mean the flash from... I'm just trying to understand to the initial explosion. You mean that explosion, correct? Wait a second. Let's try to understand what we both are talking about. So if I play that one, I pause it. This is the explosion you mean, right? Look at the drawing. The drawing. No. Look at the drawing that you made. Ah, the drawing that I made. Okay, here. Yes. What do we need? So to the flash... Which one of those is the flash? Do you mean this is the flash? Yeah. I'll wait for you to write. On the left. Yes, exactly. So this one is the flash. So we'll call that flash from now on. Okay. So you want me to create the flash first and then play with the elements. That's fine. I could do that too, but I kind of want to figure out that is the first thing that is visible. Of course, yeah, I'm with you. But what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to get this thing moving. Once I understand that, how it could be moving, I could completely do that under basically 2 hours. I could do both of them. When the effects, so this is the first thing that is visible when the effect starts. Oh, that is moving in code because, so you're saying that this thing would be moving with code, right? A projectile. Yeah, I'm trying to, where can I get an easy asset that I could just use? This is the art for that. Yeah. So something else that it attached to, that is the art of that, for that, or something else. So what I thought is I could animate, right? I could just make a very simple animation. 1, 1. Restart, play, loop. Okay, size of a lifetime needs to go. Yeah, I'll read more. I see. Yes, you can. Yeah, let's just animate it. I don't want it to do anything fancy. We'll animate the game object, or we put it all under one game object. But you need to be in the scene, and you can use the animator. Yeah, I haven't used the animator yet, so at a distance time. Yeah, that's what I thought. So we'll create an empty, call it animatable, just showcase, basically. Showcase projectile. And we would just make a very simple animation for that. So we will need the timeline, I guess. We'll create a timeline. We will put it inside of here, animations. Okay, so it went into anime. We have one. We'll call this timelines. I will put it right there. Okay, we didn't even name it. Doesn't matter. So we will add a new animation track, I guess. We will record it. Can we record it? That's weird. Okay. I can't press much. I'm trying to understand how the system works. I guess we would need an animation component or an animator. Animator component? Controller. Avatar. Okay, now we're in the wrong category here. I'm very new at this. Basically it is doable. That's what we know so far. But we have to know how to animate. Trail needs to be at 0.7. And I could learn that quickly. I could just Google it, basically. Let's see. Unity, animate, quick animation. Quick animation. Let's see. Easy 3D animations for Unity beginner. Don't want Mixamo, thank you. Make animations without making animations. No, I want to make animations. Wind up, trailer, animated, short. Know how to animate in 3D. Okay, Unity. Okay, so we don't need a timeline, it seems. We need animation. A window called animation. I will put that right there. And we'll create again a new thing. Animation. I'm not gonna name anything. I'm just gonna keep it quiet. Easy. Transform. Here we go. Now we're talking. And we only need the transform for now. We want it to go. Is that the time that we have? We want it to go from 0. What are we animating? Why is it not clear on what are we animating? Okay. All right. Okay. We have something going on here. That's nice. How fast is this? Very slow. Okay, sorry, I had to do something. Yes, it's weird a bit. Okay. No problem. It's fine. Like, you don't have to worry. I'm just trying to figure out on my own. Yeah, the curves are here. That's good to know. I've been animating a lot in the past, so need to figure out the controls here. Is there a way I could... Yeah, that's better. Well, what we need is just a very linear value for now, and we could loop it. That would be nice too. Okay, let me check the chat. Yeah, that works, but you need to hit the record button so you can replay that movement. Okay, that's the record button, I guess. We need higher value. We need to go a bit faster. Here we go. Now we're playing with the... it's looping already. That's good. But we need it to kind of loop instantaneously. So it just keeps going. I mean, it doesn't really matter. Just for now, I want to play with things over and over again. That's good. What happens if it overshoots in the beginning? When it arrives, it shouldn't get slower. But I'm just interested, how would that be? Yeah, okay. That would not work at all. How would it be if we taken that up? And yeah, it will arrive very slow, so that we know what happened. I think that's the more realistic curve here. Slow and then, but actually that's not realistic because the bullet should actually slow down at the end, right? It goes, let's see. It's also not realistic because it really has to go on a constant value here. Okay, we have something. I don't like how it snaps back like that. Yeah, there's a lot of work to do here. Might be interesting to check the shader graph, the visual graph for the first, understand how that works. Yeah, nah, I know. You know, I just think I've covered that in my art before, not on my stream, but like I've covered animations. I know how it kind of works. I kind of want to understand how the visual the visual effect graph works for now. check that out, try to understand it a little more, and then see if I could still play around with that. As for those things being enabled by code, yes, absolutely. Gabriel actually had a scene where you could hook things up, but it didn't work. Sadly for me, I don't know. We'll just keep going now. Try to understand the shader, the visual effect shader for now, or visual effect graph. I'm always mixing both. This is good for now. Let's keep checking. VFX graph workshop. Let's go back, save that. Sure. And we will go to where we have left off. Right here, there, right here. Enable that. I don't know why the projectile. I mean, are you kidding me? No. Okay. We'll just disable this. VFX spark loop right there. Okay, we will enable the cube again. Take both of them down. So we have separation. We'll call this animation test that we made. Animation test. Just so we have an idea. The VFX graph sparks. We will continue where we left off yesterday. Or not yesterday, today. Completely drunk right now. So let's see. So we were in that pool, and pool could do either a true or a false. So we already added those values. Well, Gabriel actually duplicates this and hooks it up again, and another value, and puts it in the count. And now we will see what else can we do.
And when it's true, it loops continuously. That's exactly what we want.
See, expose. Yeah, the value is true. Okay, we'll go back now just to understand what is happening.
A burst of particles, and when it's true, it continues. That's exactly what we want.
Okay, so we have, it should, when we make it false, it should burst once, and I think that is due to our values here. Let's make it something with contrast. Right now we don't have contrast. We're just going between 70 and yeah, we need some contrast here. We need different values, and we need to be able to say what happens with the true, what happens with the false. This is why we don't have any value here that is actually working for us once we're changing the false or true. So once it's true, it should loop. That's why we called it loop. And that is why when we have enabled it, now it should loop. Okay, that is cool. That is because when we have gone with true, it had that value went immediately to the constant spawn rate. That is what is happening here. Constant spawn rate is the one where it doesn't have to burst. And when it's false, it will only burst once. This makes a lot of sense. It will only burst once. True, it will loop. It won't loop. Loop, won't loop. Okay, so we're adding that logic to it. We have way more control over it. That is quite cool. Hi, they were first time chatter. Nice to have you here. Welcome to the stream. We're trying to learn Unity visual effect graph and all its complexity. Vexord is helping me a lot here. Thank you so much. We will see what this can do. My goal is to understand it first. Try to repeat it as much as possible just so I can get it. Vexord actually gave a nice example of how they used it in a project of theirs. So you could check that out in the chat. Really cool example. Really looking forward to understand it a little more. I have a question, Vexord. Is the visual effect graph similar to Niagara system in Unreal? Do you know anything about that? Okay, so we'll just keep going here. Yeah, so basically an easy way, and I didn't cover this before, to change the values. Thank you for looking it up for me. We have we are able to expose that, which we saw before. If we expose it, we can go in the particle system in the hierarchy, and we will see it exposed here, and we could enable it or disable it. And we could also, without going out, just test it inside the visual effect graph in Unity. That is good. So new information, just make sure you open your property to know more. I studied VFX and never used VFX graph. Okay, cool. I'm not sure if that's something where you mean you don't need it, but I kind of like its flexibility, where it's almost procedural in that sense. But I'm talking about something I probably don't know about that much. But when I imagine it, I'm like, well, basically you have those properties that you could expose and use similarly to shader graph, where you could make instances and make differences in on the go. Basically, you don't have to duplicate the particle and change things. Well, basically, you're still changing things by hand, but I guess it makes this tool for artists to play around with things on the go, or even for maybe game designers that could apply changes with just different values. That is my current understanding of it. I could be completely wrong, but since I'm interested in technical art, this could be something that allows us to make cool stuff in the future. So maybe it's worth to go deeper into it.
But it's also going to be useful to control in this spectrum.
We'll continue looking now.
The spark rate, the spark amount. Right?
About Niagara, wait a second. About Niagara, yes, a lot, or lol is, or it is, okay. Not sure how much stuff is the same in the same position, but yeah, same stuff. That's what I thought. And a lot of people use Niagara, and it could be a nice starting point to start with Unity, and then maybe you go. I don't do very complex simulations or realistic stuff. I try to make stuff in the style of League of Legends, and I've never needed it, I think. Can you share some of your work, if it's okay for you, and if we could show it on the stream? Maybe we could look at your stuff and maybe just like look at your art just out of curiosity, like what did you do before? I'm really interested. That would be something you're comfortable with, of course, on the stream. By the way, thank y'all for commenting, supporting the stream. I really appreciate it. Cool. Now we'll keep going. I only have the one actual project started learning 3 months ago. Cool. So I suppose I'm allowed to show the stuff, right? Wow. I really like this one. I very much like the shape. And you've done all of this in Unity, correct? Those are some nice textures. Really love those textures. Oh, dude, that's nice. That's nice. Is this dynamic? Can you like change if you change the one material to the other? Sorry, when you change those spheres locations in the world, would they also stay connected? Very nice stuff. Very nice. I love how clean the cuts here are. There's like they're very clean stuff. Wow, look at that. Impressive. Wow, I love those cuts. So cool, so unique. Are those animated 2D, like frame by frame? Just wondering. So what do we have? Yes? Nope. I hate it. I really hate it when I get so focused looking at those things and I ask like 3 questions. And then it's like, yep, nope. And I'm like, which one of the questions was it? So yeah, I guess I asked about if they are connected. Let's check. I love it. I really like this. So go back to the commentary. It's hand placed. Okay. I don't know how much about technicals. I'm just like wondering. But okay, so you're using Unity, and yeah, you can't move the orbs. Okay. I thought, well, when I first opened this, I was like, this is Unreal, but it was just like it was Unity. But yeah, that's good. That shows what Unity can do. That is amazing. That is really cool. How are you able to create those nice textures here? Is that a shader you've created, or is it... I'm not gonna ask too many questions, so you could just answer with yes. I really like this one. Oh, variety. That's amazing. Yeah, okay. Yes, shader magic. Oh, amazing. That's really cool. Is it a distortion of some sort? And you can, if you don't want to answer, it's totally fine. Completely understand. This is some nice stuff right there. Really cool things. Here's my question to you. Did you animate this in the animator in Unity, or is it just a particle system that spins around using rotation? Yes, I have a fiery texture and distort it with a noise. Yeah. I've actually done something similar. Maybe do you come from the VFX apprentice server, because I posted about it. I've made something a bit similar with the help of Gabriel's course. The position is animated in animators. Amazing, cool. Thanks for answering that for me, because I was about to do a similar thing Vexort was helping me with. Actually, it was right there, the animation test. So we tried to do like a very simple animation out of this one, and I think we were in the VFX Particles workshop, and we added the window called animation, and I guess this is the one you used, right? We have a new comment. All those first exercises are my own version of the class from VFX. Wow. Using my own textures and with somebody. That's exactly what I've done with Gabriel's tutorial. I've actually attended the same course you attended from VFX. I was in the bootcamp, the very first that was made. The bootcamp was quite fast. It was like week 1 you do this, week 2, week 3, week 4 we'll try Unity, week 5. So we didn't have like a lot of time. So I wanted to ask you if there was a lesson on how that loop, that circular loop was done, because I don't remember watching it. Just a simple question. Okay, so here we've done something similar. I'm not sure if you've seen it. So open this. It's hard to see it, but like the animation right now is very simple. Yeah, it's quite simple. I didn't really go into details with it, but that's basically the effect that we created here on this stream. Okay, go back to what we were learning, and maybe we will find new ways to use the graph. Maybe it will help you out with understanding it. Let's see what else we could do. So animation test, boom, done. We will go back to our sparks, our lovely sparks, and we have made a loop bool here that could or could not. It basically adds logic to it. So that's what we know so far. Is there a new comment? All those first exercises, yeah, good. Now, so we will learn more about this as we keep going. We're still in the very first video. So sparks rate, a new property. Okay, so he adds a new float value, and he calls it sparks rate. So we have sparks rate, which I think would be hooked to here, constant spawn rate. But let's see, let's keep watching, and I will let you know my own understanding of the course. Okay. Okay, that's kind of cool. So we're basically exposing that value to the outside, so we could manipulate it. Okay, so just quick explanation. We have added values here. Say you're outside of the graph and you want to change that on the go, make variants quickly. So what we have enabled now is something called sparks rate. We will only hook it to the numbers that we have added with the true or false, so that when you control it, you could, from the outside, you could change those values. Just gonna separate it a little bit. And now we see if this is exposed or not. It is exposed. For now, the value is 0. We might actually, yeah, okay. We will just have it as spark rate because it will just determine the sparks. And here we have the value false, so it bursts once, and that's it. And here we have it as true, so it will go to, which one is true? This one. It will go to the constant spawn rate, so it will loop, which makes sense since the name of the bool is loop. Let's keep going.
Now we need to control the motion of the sparks, right? And we can do it in initialize sparks. We want them to go straight forward in the X, in this case, until they hit the ground. And as you can see, we have this set velocity that is already adding motion, already adding velocity to the particles. That's why they are moving. But we don't want these values. For example, if we increase the range between 5 and -5, as you can see, they will go sideways.
Okay.
We don't want that much. We want between -1 and 1. And for the X, it's actually...
Okay, so what we're experimenting with in the course right now is the velocity, which is the next section after spawn system. Spawn system takes care of the emissions, and the next system is called initialized particle. In the initialized particle, we can control how much the capacity is. So as we've seen, the value here is 100, and the capacity is like it puts a cap on how many particles is there to be emitted. And I think you can... No, you can't hook it up to anything. Anyway, for now, there's only 32 showing because we have, we have put that filter to it. If we put it up to 100, it will go up to 100. So we'll go back to 32. I think this is something you could do for performance. For now, I'm not sure. Well, basically, Gabriel here plays with that value. He shows us if we put it to 5, it will go in that axis, which is sideways. And if you put it to minus, it will also do that here. If you put everything to 0, it will only go sideways. Also here. So it will only go sideways, as you can see, like an exhaust of some sort. And he puts it up to 1 and -1 for now. I'm just following up one by one, learning the rules, and then we can break them. I sent you an explanation on Discord about the fireball animation. Hey, thank you so much. That's so kind of you. Okay, I'm just going to check my Discord then. I hope I have received your message. Amazing. Message request. Let's accept the DM. Thea, nice to meet you. Amazing. Thank you so much for that explanation. Am I allowed to show it on the stream? I'm just going to read it a little bit. I will open it in the browser so people don't have your Discord information. If you ever decide to share that with me later, let me know. For now, I'll just read it. Basically, create a parent to your fireball and make its pivot. Then take the fireball away a bit. So basically creating a rig of some sort. Yeah, of course, I just made it in Paint. There's no problem. Of course, I will show it right here. So, you have given me a sketch as such, and it shows basically create a parent to your fireball and make its pivot, then take the fireball away a bit and animate the pivot rotation. Parent particle system. Animate rotation of parent from 0 to 360, loop and remove curves. Okay, you know what? We will just do that right now. Thank you so much for explaining it to me. What I essentially was trying to do with Vixord is to make a fire, so like a flash in the beginning. The particle goes from X to Z, and then it explodes and it disappears. For now, I guess that's the better option to just try out some stuff because I didn't yet create those flashy stuff. Muzzle and the impact animation. I have not done those yet, but I was try it with try to understand the graph. Maybe I was able to do it, but for now we'll go back to Particles Workshop and we will hide those things and try your method. Thank you so much. We will disable this. We will enable the animation test and bring back bring back this animation thingy. And what we will do, like you told me now, is to rig it. And we will put this right here. Now we have the animation test, which should be in a different value. Why is it moving with it? Is that what's happening? So I will just read it again. Basically create a parent to your fireball and make its pivot. Make it its pivot. How do you make it a pivot? How does one do that? Just wondering. How can I make this a different reset transformation? And now if this is a 0, why is the parent following the child? Well, the child should follow the parent. Am I missing something here? Create a parent to your fireball and make it its pivot. Then take the fireball away a bit. See how that could work. Where is the how to make something to parent and pivot? Let's just Google it a bit. Parent pivot Unity. Let's see what is there to read about that. How to change pivot. Set pivot in Unity with offset. Salam alaikum. The first thing. Cool. Create empty. Okay, we have something. Copy component. Let's see. Something exciting. I was in the kitchen. Can't you move the projectile to the side? I actually can move the projectile to the side. However, the animation test follows it. It follows so that the parent, the empty game object, is following the child, and I'm trying to not make it do that, you know, because if I rotate it right now, nothing will happen. And I actually still need to change a couple of things with the simulation space. I think it should be local, but I'm not entirely sure. So I'm looking up on YouTube right now a way to make it the pivot. Copy position. Okay, that thing I know already. Let's keep going. That's interesting. This guy is able to do it with a cube quite fast. So I will try to create an empty call it pivot. Okay, and now I will parent it like that. I will put everything to 0. And now you see that it's actually following. My cube is following the pivot. That is basically what we need right now. So what we would, I'm just trying to test it. If I move the cube away, is the pivot following? And why is it following? That is a bit stupid. What is happening in here, y'all? Wait a second. Face position. Oh, wait. Okay. So what you would do is first, before you parent, right? You go to the pivot. Okay, I think I got it. So we will do it right now. So this one will be 0. The projectile will be kind of like 4 or 3 units away from it. Then we will parent. And now we should have it. Okay, wait. This guy is doing it and it's working for him. However, for me, it's weird. Okay, we're gonna look up a different way. Set an object pivot point. Let's check it out. Yeah, okay. Let's see. 3D object. Okay, I just checked it on my own Unity. Cool. I'll wait for your text. Yeah. Ignore the colored arrows. The parent is not moving. I think that's the problem. Here we go. So when you put it to center, this thing is just always putting the gizmo to center. That's what I thought was the problem. Okay, that's at least good to know. We'll put it more up, like here. And we will delete that animation. We'll add a property. We will bring in the rotation property. And now we will go in the x-axis. Nope. We'll go in the y-axis. Nope. We'll go in the z-axis. Nothing is happening. Is this the actual animation from the animation test? Okay. Let's see. We'll hit the recording button. We will remove. I'll add a new animation, create new clip. It doesn't matter. I'm just gonna call it whatever for now. Just want to make sure that the thing is getting animated. Add. Okay. And now one of them has to be 360, I guess. Yeah. But what are we animating right now? Oh my god, do I hate Unity. What is happening? Where can we animate? Try to move the projectile and rotate. Yeah, I'm basically I'm aware that it will basically work. We still have to edit the okay. Let's actually fix that first and then we can figure out the animation stuff. I think the blue fire need to be simulating to world. Let's see how that will work now. Okay, now here. Yeah, nope, that is the wrong one. So we will keep it to simulate into local and take the renderer. And now we make it simulate to local, which would keep it inside its hierarchy. Now let's see. That is better. We're having something. Red fire. Go to render and also make it please follow the local alignment. Thank you so much. Okay, and now we will spin me right round, baby, right round. Good. Yeah, that is better. Particles need to chill a little bit because what the hell is going on here? Why are they going so weird in the outside? Is the speed not matching anymore? Start speed. Let's see. -2 might be too much. 0.1. Nope. It doesn't want to comply to us. It's going just super big. It's... What the fuck is happening here? Radius, shape, radius, go down a bit, buddy. Okay, that is a problem. Okay, so we gotta go with 0.5. Nope. 0.1. Nope. 0, I guess. We'll have to go with 0 for now. Yeah, this is not working. I hate it when it doesn't work. Let's see, 0.5 radius thickness. Maybe that's the problem. No. Hemisphere will only make it go in a certain way. Maybe we do need that though, and just have it go on like that. And more to the right. Maybe a cone is a better fit anyway. Radius angle, give me... Wait a second. So we needed to go this way first. Yes. And now we will have the radius go 0. Yes. We will have the speed go a bit further. 3. Okay. It changed the whole thing now. We will have it go this way. Okay. It decides to go this way for whatever fucking reason. Okay, I got a new message. Record button, the red dot. Okay, I'll check it. Later on, the problem with the record button is, so when I go here, I can't click it now all of a sudden. All right, whatever. So weird. Okay, so that's the wrong one. 360 here. I tried to click it, I swear, but it doesn't matter. Yes, that's good. Okay, how to make it loop, and I also wanna edit the curves. Okay, we need to make this. I can click it now. So weird. It's just really weird. It's really weird. Okay, it doesn't matter. How can I scale this again? This. Yeah, okay, this. And up and down, I guess, one of them. And now we will disable... I guess that doesn't work like that. Let's have it just linear, quite linear here. Because I don't see options. So not familiarized with this. And we will maximize, close tab, add tab, UI live reload, UI toolkit debugger. How do I loop this thing? How do I make it loop? Maybe I should look that up. Unity animation loop. Let's see. Okay, I think we have to put it. Okay, let's check it out. Check it out. Yes. All right, cool. That's the same thing I'm doing. Okay, so you right click and you make it auto. Go to the dope sheet. We make it auto. Okay, and now we will hit on play. Ooh, that's so cool. We will now continue working on it. I really love it. Sparks, and thanks for helping me, guys. Really, really, really appreciate it. Thank you so much. That is why the stream is just so much easier to learn from, because I get to ask things, and it's so amazing. Thank you so much. Let's go to Sparks. Let's now try to make this work. Start size. What is making them go the opposite way? Let's try to figure that out one by one. Nope. Don't animate that, please. Thank you. Or did it animate it now? Okay. We'll have to remove that value. Remove properties. Ah! No. Z. Remove property. Yes. Is it property or? Yeah, property. Okay, cool. We will go to trail. Oh, not trail. Go to Sparks again. And now we try to figure out what is happening in here. Why is it not working? Is it because of the noise? Mission is not the problem. Color over lifetime is not the problem. Noise is also not the problem. So what is making it go that way instead of the other way? What happens if we make it 3 minus 3 minus 3? Wait a second. I changed the other values. Shouldn't have. 0, 20, 30. Now play. That's a lot. Okay. What the hell? 2, 3. How about 20? Would that do the other way around now? Huh. What is happening? 5. Yeah, fuck it. Doesn't matter. Don't work. Fine. I'll have it go this way then. What? Why? What? Okay. That is so weird right now. I mean, I know I have velocity over, but why would it change direction the moment it's somewhere else? What the hell? Shape, cone, hemisphere, or sphere even. Okay. Where's that sphere shape now? Doesn't show it. Okay. Emission. And now rate over distance should be 20. Should be the same amount. So I'm not getting crazy here. And why is it not why is it avoiding the effect itself? The speed needs to chill here. 1 to 2. Okay. Something broke with the parenting, it seems. Okay. Come on, Sparks. Sparks, come on. We're just gonna put it here then. Anyone has an idea? I think a cone shape emission might work. I really tried it, but might worth looking into. But for some reason, once we parented it with the animation test, started becoming a teenager. Wait, let's play that animation, see what happens. Yeah, okay. So please now give me more time and play it a bit. Not so much time, like fine here. Okay, the curves are acting up now. Is there a way or a shortcut I can make it? No, thank you. Let's go here. Is there a way clamped auto, free, smooth, flat, broken, clamped auto? Nah, we don't need that. Free, smooth, flat is the one. And here also flat, I guess. Controlled on our own. Just needed linear. That's all. Okay, and now back. But the problem is it will change all the time now. Linear. That's what we need. Okay, here we go. A right tangent linear. Okay, and now no matter what I do, it should just go. Continue in that. Okay, now it's slower, faster, a bit slower maybe. Okay, and now the trail. Okay. Let's see what we could do with that. It's funny that, it's going lower. Okay, we don't need that. Stay 0, please. Okay, 0, yeah, okay, good. Getting used to it. Trail, please. Focus on position 0, maybe? Okay, X. Okay, trail should not change. It's fine to keep it where it is. Sparks are the ones that we need to change. What? Was I editing the wrong thing now the whole time? Okay, cone will act like that. I think I know why it's acting like this. Because we have a collider. And we had physics on it. Wow, this goes that deep. Oh, here you go. You even told me about it. Oh my god. Sorry about that. Okay, we need... Oh my god, you guys. Yeah. That's part of learning, I guess. It's so funny. Angle, it's right. Are we with this? Okay, sparks correctly. Radius 0. Why when we change the angle nothing happens? Arc, yeah, arc can stay like it is. 360, it's fine. Speed needs to go quite down actually. Let's try something between -3 and 3. Whoa! Yeah, it needs to be way less anyway, then we would know. Does this look good? Let's take out the stuff. Gizmo by. Let's turn off the lights and make it a full screen. How does this look like, guys? I feel like the sparks could still use some love here because they are not, like, if you look at its tail, although from far looks good. Yeah, it kind of looks good. I was always wondering how those effects are done, and now with the help of you guys, we got it working. Thank you so much. That's awesome. I really like it. Let's turn on the lights. Check it out again. I kind of would love it to glow. Do you think if we add a light that doesn't cast shadows, with that, we add it on the head of it, would that make it shine? Actually, speaking of which, did you make it shine in your portfolio? Is it shiny? Okay, it's not shiny. I wonder how. I mean, it is blue. There is obviously a shiny thing happening, but it's not shining on the ground. And I wonder now if I could. Oh, okay. I was wondering if we could do that. So let's save everything. What the? Oh, crazy. Give me a second. Just there's something flashed behind me. I need to check it. Actually, I need to go to the bathroom really bad. So let's take a 5-minute break. I'll be right back. Thank you for helping me. Look how cool this is. Oh my god. Trail, what are you doing? You're drunk. Let's put the break right here so y'all can see it. And we have that fin. This is cool. Yeah, be right back. Back. So. Cool. Wow, we've got it moving. That's amazing. So nice, you guys. So cool. Yeah, there's definitely, we could still put a lot of love into the sparks here. For now, we'll go back to learning about shader. I keep saying shader. Come on, Jack. Come on, focus. Unity visual effect graph. Good. So we will continue learning about that. We'll hide this for now. Good, sweet beans. We will pause this, go back to our workshop here, and then this thing here. Animation test should go away for now. Sparks loop, go back in, and cube. Where's our cube? Where's the cube? Okay. We need a new cube. Oh no, we lost our cube. Well, that's fine. Not a big deal. We will... Yep. Yes. No. We will add a scale. What is double 180? 2, 3... Calculator! Hello, my old friend. 182 is 360. What's wrong with me? Of course it is 360. Yes, it is. So it will be 3 points. That's about it. About what, the width of a human. That's a bit of a peak of a human. We will make it 6. That's too wide of a human. Maybe like that. And 4. Wait, what are we doing here even? 6. Okay. Now we have made a huge human. Maybe like this. Okay, good. The Y. I don't know why we need this though, but we will just now create it. So we have scale. Alright, we will continue watching then. Here we are. Let's go. So we were with the velocity part, which is right here, and we made them go on the z-axis from 1 to -1. And now
20 and 5.
20.
Right, maybe it's a bit too much, but as you can see, if we start moving around, sometimes we see the particle, sometimes we don't see the particle. That's only happening because of this capacity module that we already add here in the initialize And if you look closely, you will notice that the particles are not being constantly spawned. There are a few gaps because it reaches the maximum capacity and then it waits for a few particles to die and then it keeps on spawning. So we need to increase the capacity to something like 1000, for example. And if you want this to be always visible, we also need to increase the bounds. As you can see, if the box is not in our view, in the scene view, Unity disables the VFX graph.
Okay, one more important thing to understand. Okay, the capacity, we still had the same understanding, and it's actually correct understanding. Well, now let's take it up into the x-axis with something between 50 and 2, values of 50 and 2. And now we will realize that those, let's call them bubbles, they are exploding in that way. But the bounds now, if we put it back to manual and we enable back this gizmos or these gizmos, and we actually select it, you see that bounding box. The bounding box is basically calculating if you are looking at the particle box from the camera. So now if we look away from it, no particles. And if we look back at it, there are some particles. No particles, 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 particles. This could be an issue because an effect like that, that goes so far away, you could be just looking at it this way, and then boop, the box is gone. So there are ways to make that bigger. Touch, for example. And this will allow us to look at the particle without it disappearing. So for example, this is a good value. I almost made it perfect, right? Yeah. So yeah, we wouldn't need it to expand that big, for example. So if we're looking this way, the moment we're not looking at it anymore, it should disappear, which is doing, but we can't see it. Okay, good. Let's keep learning.
So we can increase the box something crazy like 100 hex and it will be always visible, for example. It's maybe a bit too much, but it's only for demonstration purpose. That's enough so the particles will always be visible, at least. Okay, so now that we have that, as you can see the particles are leaving for way too much. Can decrease the maximum to 1.5 and as you can see they don't go that far anymore. What would be also useful is to create a float so we can control this in the inspector. We can call it spark lifetime and the value in this case is going to be the maximum. As you can see we have a minimum and the maximum in the set lifetime. But we only need one float because if you connect the spark life to the maximum, then we can multiply it by 0.5 for example and we get half of 1.5 which is 0.25. Maybe a little bit less, like 1/3. This way we get a range between 0.5 and 1.
Okay, so we are learning about different system here now again. We will learn about the set lifetime random. And we have had lifetime before in the particle system. Lifetime should tell us how, so for example, here you see them going way too far. They are even beyond our ground. So if we put that back to 1, they should disappear before that. Now, in the tutorial, Gabriel actually adds a float value and he names it into spark lifetime, and he takes that value and hooks it up, basically just puts it down here. And what you could do is before you hook it up is you could multiply. You could add a multiply. Just very much simpler, very much simple to, as we know, the shader graph. You can add nodes like that. You can add multiplications and things like that. Really cool stuff. I'm really enjoying this right now because that is exactly the type of thing I like to learn. Okay, so if I add the float value to the maximum of the lifetime, that means the multiplication of half of that value should be the first A value. And now we have a value between 0 and 0 because everything you multiply with 0 will be 0. So if this was 2, it will now randomize between 2 and 1. If it was 1, it will randomize between 1 and 0.5, which is basically what we asked it to do. If it's a 10, it will do the same thing. However, now we almost don't see any. We don't see the particles because it went so far ahead. You see, like, we almost barely can see it. If this is back to 1, we can see that it's between 1 and 0.5. Good stuff. Cool. Let's keep learning new things. This is exciting.
5 seconds for the lifetime of each part. The operate particle we are going to use in a moment. For now, let's take care of the aspects of.
Okay, we'll go to the next video.
We have this main text so that we can click here and, well, let's use the default particle. It's more than enough for this exercise. And we got the blend mode, we got alpha, and alpha is useful to render dark colors, and additive, well, it will basically add on top of whatever it is in the background. You can learn more about that, add, and we got the blend mode, we got alpha and additive. Alpha is useful to render dark colors, and additive, well, it will basically add on top of whatever it is in the background. You can learn more about that in the previous course that I made, VFX for beginners. But in case you have any questions, please feel free to ask them here on the site. So they don't have quite the aspect of sparks, right? They are round and we want them to be straight. So the way we do it is with a set scale. We want to control the X and Y. We want to squeeze them in the X and stretch them in the Y, or the opposite.
Okay, so we're going to the renderer, basically. The alternative of the renderer in the particle system is called output particle quad. Okay. In here, you will see really similar stuff to what we had before, and we could use a shader. Weird that we can't see our shader graphs that we created. Maybe I could drag and drop it. Let's see what happens. It's going right there now. All right, let's try it. Can't do that for some reason. I wonder why. Anyway, there are things we could choose from. Well, let's first read shader graph. It doesn't even explain, so it just says shader graph. Color mapping specifies how particles are being colored in the pixel shader. They can either use the main texture or their color, and alpha can be remapped with a gradient based on the main texture values. I'll keep going then. We'll keep checking what that is. UV mode specifies the UV mode used when sampling the texture on the particle. The UV can encompass the whole particle by default, be resized and offset, or they can be segmented for use with a texture flipbook to simulate an animated texture. Okay, that's cool. We would need this, I guess, when we have a flipbook. When enabled, okay, use soft particle. When enabled, transparent particles fade out when near the surface of objects. Okay, that's really nice. Writing into the depth buffer. Okay. Example, when instancing with solid objects in the level. Hey, does that mean that the VFX graph actually is or gives you a lot of options to optimize? More so than the particles can do? Say, for example, you have a game that you want to port on the Switch, and you've made all your particles or all your effects in the VFX graph. You have more power to edit them than you would with the normal way. But this is also visual. Trying to understand. It for sure gives you more control. Like, there's no doubt about that. You have multiplication, things like that. I think I'm really enjoying learning about this. It's like a whole new world to me. I really love it. So let's keep learning then. When enabled, transparent particles fade out. When near, or exactly, that's what we read about. Blend mode specifies transparency. Of course, that we had before. Additive. That's cool. Use alpha clipping. This gives the transparency when it gives it. Okay, we're gonna take actually an example from here, and we see it right here. I think this is going way too far away. 0.2 and minus 0.2, 0.5 maybe. Yeah. And here, instead of 50, let's go with 10, or maybe 3, or maybe 5. 6, okay, good. Oh my god, I'm getting real tired in here, huh? It's a Friday. Then we have a weekend, and then I'll be back streaming on Monday for sure. I ain't gonna let this go. Gotta learn more and more about it. Cool beans. Let's see the shader graph here, and we wanted to try the alpha threshold. The more you give it... Okay, wait. There's a lifetime, but is there speed somewhere? Well, first of all, we kind of need this value to go back to 30. This is way more organized as well. I like it better. 20. And now we will see how the threshold can affect the alpha. It doesn't do much. It should though, right? It doesn't matter. For now, we will just keep it the way it is. Maybe it can do something here. Yeah, here you go. It does it with PNGs better. Okay, that's cool. Is there a way you could use sine? Time? Is there time? Time scale game, sine wave float, C0. It's cool, like you could use the same animation methods. Like if you would have here time, game time, delta time, then you multiply it by a vector maybe. Good, we have a vector here, 10 alpha. Just wondering what could happen. Okay, I'm gonna remove it, and maybe we have a sine here, 1, and maybe sine wave then. Just trying shit out. Let's see if this would work. Sine wave. Let's see. Okay, vector, I guess. Okay, I'm fucking up a lot of things right now. 3, 2, whatever. Yeah. Okay. We need to properly look into that later. Okay. We will keep looking then.
But as you can see, they are always facing the camera, and they are not correctly oriented. That's because we have this orient block that is setting the particles to face the camera plane. And if you click on this drop-down menu, you will notice that we have several modes. And there is one, the last one, which says along velocity. And as soon as we select it, the particles now will be aligned with the velocity vector. And that's exactly what we want, but in my case, I selected the particles in the wrong axis. I'm going to switch this. It's going to be 0.5 for the X and 2 for the Y. See now, they are not...
Okay, give me a second. Let me understand that again. So far, this has been shader, texture thingy that you could add onto. You can have your own thing here, if I'm not mistaken. But we will learn more about it. We have an orient face camera plane, which should... I don't know much really. Let's keep going. A camera plane. Wait, is there a way I could learn more about this by just hovering about it? Around it maybe? Specifies the orientation mode of the particle. It can face towards the camera or a specific position. Orient itself along. Okay, so this is the billboard stretch thing that we had in the particles, but a bit different, eh? This is camera position. So if the camera was to move, are they stretching? We don't. I love the thing here. I love the icon. Let's check. Look at position. Okay, so we could change something about that. Look at line. Nothing about that. Advanced fixed axes. Which one did he choose? Along velocity. Is this possible? Yes. Okay, it is possible. Alright, so what is next? Set scale XYZ. That is what he has. That's set size over lifetime. Set color over lifetime. But there's no set size or set scale. Let's try to look. Okay, no, actually we'll have to be inside here. Set size, set scale actually, set scale. And we put it beneath it. And now we play with the values. 0.5, 7, 1. Okay, that is how it works. Cool. 2. And if I expand this, I have the same values. Just a bit. Okay. I guess we will have to create properties for those. Say vector 3, I guess, right? Vector 3. And now we're trying to go away from the course, and hopefully he covers that later. We will call it stretch texture stretch, maybe texture stretch. Okay, and now we have 3 values. We put that down here. We hook it to the scale. We put the same values that we had, 0, 3, 7, 1. Okay, it's exposed. That means if I click it from here, we have its texture stretch. Good. Save that. Save here. Save that. I also need to save the. Let's look at it later. So far, actually, I haven't followed Dante. I should follow Dante on ArtStation. I'm not signed in. Should have. Maybe later. I just don't wanna miss something new they post. That would be cool. All right, so we keep going.
What we can also do is make this random in the inspector.
Random in the inspector, so we can make it go random, and it would be here per component. Uniform is I wonder what uniform would mean. Let's do the same thing we did before with the multiply, and we add a value of 0.3 maybe. Here you go. Now we have randomness. That's awesome, you guys. Really cool. And I like how I made it separate in that way. That means I could hook things here. Okay, that's nice. I mean, I could have also just taken it down. All right, let's keep going.
Now we can say that in the y it's going to be 1 between 1 and 2. And in the x it's going to be between 0.2 and 0.5, for example. Maybe, yeah. What's also happening is that they are starting small and then they grow. And that's not exactly what we need. And it's happening because of the set size of a light. It's controlling the size of the particles through a curve. So you want to switch to this line, start big and then
Oh, cool. The workflow here is so much cooler. I mean, why is anyone using this all the time? Look at this. You could even save. You can make a new one from the one you just had. Like have it go crazy like that. That is a much way better curve than the one that was before. I'm loving this. This is so much better. Yeah, okay. And if I wanted to add that as new, here it is. Amazing. Okay, I can delete one. That's nice. Yeah, okay. So we can switch, and here it is. Yeah, this looks good. I'm gonna keep that actually. It looks good. Yeah, so let's see what else is there. Of course, this is size of a lifetime. It doesn't need really any explanation because we have worked with that before. And you can have it over lifetime, by speed, or so basically size over speed, random constant per particle. Cool, you could just snap this here and it will make a seed. It will basically work like an AI. That is amazing. Because this speeds up your workflow a little bit more than just having the particle system.
Yeah, now they are all
Cool stuff.
But instead of adjusting the set scale, you can use the set size, and it will be much easier to control the size. But as you can see, the set size.
But like, I'm still glad that we worked with the particle system before, because for a mobile game, I guess you would use the particle system because it uses the CPU, if I'm not mistaken here. This is just GPU based. Let's see, let's keep going. I don't want to expand on that if I don't know much technically, so let's keep going.
Increasing or decreasing the value, the particles don't change the size, and that's because the way VFX graph works. The next block influences the previous one, and in our case, the block that comes after the set size is the set size of a light. And if we select it,
I just noticed that there's new chat, but I haven't checked it. Yeah, okay, we have that. This is what I meant when I said you need to see it in the world. Looks good, thank you. And add a splash of music to your creation process. Yes. I can click it now. So weird. Yeah, okay, now I didn't miss that then. All good.
By the way, most of the times when you select one of these blocks, you will have some more options in the inspector, and sometimes that can be quite useful to find new options. And if you look in the inspector, we have this composition option that is set to overwrite. So it's basically overwriting any previous value. That's why the set size doesn't do nothing. We need to change the composition to be multiply. We want this to multiply any previous value. And as soon as we do it now, if we decrease the set size to something smaller, as you can see, we control the size of the spark.
Oh, wow. Okay.
That's
So we could add a component to this whole thing. Call it size or set size. Set size. This one. Put it right here between these two. And this value should... It doesn't do anything right now because we have to take the composition here, the composition value. You hover over it, should say. Specifies what operation to perform on the chosen attribute. The input value can override, add to, multiply with, or blend with the existing attribute. Good. So if we take that and change it to multiply, it will multiply our values. It should... Okay, maybe I'm missing something. I'm gonna go back again.
this factor. We have this composition option. And if you look in this factor, we have this composition option that is set to override. So it's basically overwriting any previous value. That's why the set size doesn't do nothing. We need to change the composition to be multiply. We want this to multiply any previous value. And as soon as we do it now, if we decrease...
Okay, so basically the order matters. So far I get that. No, we have the order right, but basically here we need to change that to multiply. And this one should still say override. And here we go. Now we have a different way to change this. This is a beam. This is... Yeah, so this is how you do it. Let me try to understand it a little more. The order matters. If this, and it changes the thing here. Multiply size random from curve. So now we have set size that is going over that value here. What happens? We disable that. It doesn't have any value anymore. It was override, and this was to be disabled. It still goes. So when we set this to multiply, it's taking the value that from above and multiplying it with its own curve. When it's 0, it's still 0. When it's 1, it becomes basically 3, right? Now, wait. We're now making it smaller. Wait, 5. Multiplying that with the highest and the lowest. Okay, so it never disappears now. But when it was on 0.7, it was disappearing because the lowest is 0 and it's going multiplying 0.7 with 0 basically will be 0. But if it's 0 already, it should also never went into. But if we make them go into 0, they should disappear. And that should affect it now no matter what the number is. They should all disappear. So 5, 6, 3, 2, yeah, they're disappearing every now and then. Yeah, doesn't matter. They're just disappearing because we're multiplying that value with the other one. I feel like we could play with the lifetime a little longer. Velocity random, lifetime random, and right here we have to apply spark lifetime up to 3. Now they should go a bit more. Okay, good. Sounds cool. Let's keep watching.
Smaller. As you can see, we control the size of the spark.
Yeah.
Without changing the... That's useful. So
Okay.
Let's create a new float. Because remember, it's maximum. We always input here. I'm gonna set it to 0.7 maximum. Connect it here, and yeah, let's make spark by decreasing at 0.1 and 0.3 looks better. So yeah, we already got something going on. We almost got the spark motion right. We still need gravity, but we already got the aspect of the spark more or less right. We are going to control the color. We are going to improve and add gravity to this.
Okay, so next lesson we will start adding gravity.
Let's see how we can add color to this. If you look closer, you will notice that we have a set color overlay, which is basically a gradient.
Set color over life.
We get
Yeah,
the
it's a gradient.
editor,
Yeah,
and
same editor
now
from
we
before.
can create a property, a gradient property,
Here it is.
and call it spark gradient.
Cool, we can create a gradient property. That's a new thing.
Connect it down here to spark
Gradient
color overlay,
property. We'll call it, wait a second, sparks gradient, and we will put it here and bring it right over there. We'll hook it up to the color and expand it. And what else can we do? Can we expand this? And now we have it exposed. And now we could add a color and opacity, a little bit of variety here. Have it maybe show up later. And I love how the opacity is being affected with... Okay, that's it for the stream today. I will continue on Monday next week. See y'all then. Thanks for watching. If you're watching this on YouTube, follow and subscribe or whatever. Follow me on Twitch if you haven't yet. See you next week. Same time.